Glad to be here.
Hell yeah. Is that you a first-time caller, long-time listener?
First-time listener, long-time caller.
Oh, okay. Good to hear. And, I just, because, dude, growing up, it's going to happen. Growing old, you can avoid.
Yeah.
And I think growing old is like your mindset. And watching Idiocracy really is a good, like, eye-opener for me for a lot of different things. But we had a good little start. Let's get going. It's 10 a.m. Hello, everybody. How are we doing this morning? April 5th.
Good morning.
Good morrow.
Good morrow.
Hey, I bet.
I hate that guy.
I hate that
Lincoln, what are you doing up there? I don't know. Guessing. Guess no one's coming. What's funny is this movie has nothing to do with what we're talking about today.
Oh my god, that was funny. Sorry, I started losing. Oh man, that is funny. Like, I'm guessing. It's like, and then he catches it. He catches the arrow. He's like, "Oh, Blinken, I can hear everything." It's good. What?
Did you say Abe Lincoln? No, I said, "Hey, Blinken." Master Robin, you're back from the war. You lost your arms. You have some nice boobs, though.
Hey, wasn't your mole on the other side?
I have a mole.
All right, let's get started. Sorry, we're having some fun. Thank you for tuning in. Today, on this lovely day, April 5th.
Wait, one more.
Go.
Your name's Latrine? Yeah, it used to be Shithouse.
Achoo.
Bless you.
No, that's my name. Achoo.
En contraire, what we need is great feet of strength. Yeah, what is it?
Feats of strength.
Strength of feet.
Oh, strength of feet.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, because the feats of strength is the Seinfeld one, right?
Yeah. And then, that was Isaac Hayes playing that.
And there are. I think his voice is in Beavis and Butthead Do America. I think he does a
Hey,
song.
I was looking on IMDb to see if we had any repeat offenders, which we do.
We have
We have quite a few in this week. But one thing that I forgot whenever I was looking at the IMDb, I saw Bruce Willis and Demi Moore, and I was like, interesting pair. And I was like, oh yeah, they were married back then. Yeah. And that's a great way to, we said good morning and everything, but hey, everybody, this is Side by Side with old CJ.
Little Ben.
Sorry. Yeah, okay, we'll switch it up, yeah. And man, today we're going to be doing 2 movies by the incomparable Mike Judge. All right. And if you ever want to know what Mike Judge looks like, go watch Spy Kids 2. All right, he's the Giggles. He's the Giggles dad. All right,
yeah,
filmed by Robert Rodriguez. He's also in Office Space. He has a couple other roles in there, but that was like the most prominent role, I think, like one that I remember seeing him and not knowing who he was back then. Because I was a little bit younger when Spy Kids 2 came out. That was like 2002, so I was like 12. And I had seen Beavis and Butthead whenever I was like in 2nd grade. So I was like 8 or 9 whenever I was watching Beavis and Butthead. And I don't remember a whole lot of it, but I just but yeah, man. Mike Judge, we have Beavis and Butthead and Idiocracy, 2 movies that he directed.
I do have to apologize for last week's episode. I did say at the very end, because I started listening to a podcast, the WTF, Mark Maron's podcast. He had Mike Judge like a couple years, like 5 years ago or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I started listening. After we literally I listened to that on my birthday. I listened to it after we did our podcast. I guess the computer is always listening. So it said, "Hey, watch this." So I just put it on. I've been listening to Mark Maron a little bit just to get more of I'm listening to him, and I'm starting to I like anything I do. I like listening who's like the best at it or who's good at it, and I understand why his podcast is pretty cool and he's relatable. At first I was getting kind of like, and then I realized, oh, this is why. It's because he reminds me of me. And then I started thinking about it, and I was like, so if I say anything bad about Mark Maron, it's basically I'm talking about myself, about podcasting. But I really liked it, and I do have to apologize because I said Texas' own Mike Judd. He's from Albuquerque.
So, really?
Yeah.
So he moved to
Texas.
Texas.
Yeah, he moved to Texas. So I gotta.
How old was he whenever he moved to Texas?
Like 26, something like that. He's been here. He's been here for a while.
That's fine, dude. You know what? I honestly, whenever it comes to being a Texan, like, you don't have to be a native as long as you represent the state well. And we have King of the Hill, that is set in Texas and really kind of gives you a really good look of what life is kind of like. It's normal.
Yeah,
everybody thinks it's the Wild West down here. It's normal. It's just a normal place to live. Now you go and you drive into the middle of nowhere. Yeah, you're gonna find some crazy shit, but you do that anywhere, and you're gonna find that. But I mean, it really kind of gives a better idea of what life is like down here, And Hank Hill, I feel like, is that middle ground of, like, he's almost every Texan built into one. He has those idealistic views, but he's not an asshole about it.
Yeah,
but he's very strict, But
he's stern with his decisions, and he's very honest. Yeah,
and at times he can be oblivious, like that episode where he's a pimp and he doesn't know it. Like that. I feel like that hits, every spectrum in there, and then you have, Bill, Boomhauer, and Dale, and those are the Hank is the person that you'll see if you go to a major city in Texas, and then Dale, Boomhauer, and Bill are like the people in the backwoods, man. Like, that's the rest of them. Those are the people that are like, you got to go 3 trailers down to see.
you could see Hank Hill being your plumber next door to you. He's like, your plumber or like your electrician. And yeah, but you're right, Boomhauer and Dale and God. I liked on that podcast. He says, what do you call it? That he was able to make King of the Hill from Austin, and I thought that was pretty cool because he said, I can't miss any of my kids' events. So I was like, that was pretty badass. And then they filmed it over here. I do like the way Bill Daltrey, they do show like his decline from his high school peak, and it just shows all his life just goes down like that. But he's still, Steuben Root, he repeat offends. He's a Mike Judd's, classic. He comes out in a lot of his movies.
And Get Out. He's a repeat offender.
Too. Yeah. No, but I'm saying he comes out in a lot of Mike Judd's movies.
Yeah.
But I was just saying, saying that I did want to say I fudged up a little bit, but you're right. He's been here. He went to San Diego, the University of San Diego, to get. I'm sorry, I'm in San Diego. He went to a university. I don't know exactly if it's that one, but he went to school there and he studied physics. So the guy's like pretty damn smart. He got his degree in physics, and he was going to go to UT right out of high school, but something happened. Like, he always wanted to come to Austin. Something happened, and it didn't work out for him. Also, while he was going to school on the West Coast, he played. He was in band like in junior high. He played the trumpet, when he moved into like the bass, and then he learned to play like the standing.
That's why he has Chuck Mangione on there.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So, I love King of the Hill. I actually like King of the Hill. I once they canceled it, I watched it way more. I don't know why. Like, I watched it enough. Once they canceled, I watched it way more.
Dude, I feel like it's that nostalgia factor. It's like, it's kind of like whenever you said they canceled Family Guy. That's when you bought the DVDs, man. Like, it's almost like, why'd they cancel this? And then you want to go figure it out, and you're like, why did they cancel this?
Yeah, I thought with the Family Guy DVDs, I had all those. Like, I bought them. I didn't realize that I was part of that cause to like bring it back. So Seth MacFarlane, you're welcome.
That was the low rumblings of bring back the Snyderverse. I mean, stuff like that with Futurama as well. And didn't they canceled King of the Hill and then brought it back. Yeah, man, it's crazy. Fox has a.
You mean Futurama? They brought it back, or King? I don't think they brought back King of the. Did they bring it? Let's check it out real quick.
No, I'm pretty sure that it got like canceled and it wasn't going to come back, and then.
Oh, you're talking about right when it got started?
No, I think this was like 2009 or something, because there was an episode that was supposed to be the last episode.
I think, I remember.
And then they came back and did like 2 or 3 more seasons.
Yeah, I think it's 20. I think it's 2006 is the something like that. I think I remember that happening. Let me see real quick. I think it was the least amount of episodes.
Because the last actual and I know in the last season too, there's a episode where like Bobby's going out there to grill and everything like that and da 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 da. But and it almost seems like the last episode, right? But then you have a couple more episodes after that, and then the last episode's where like Khan is manic depressive.
That one's funny, man. I was like,
it is,
and I can relate very well. That cracks me up, dude.
So I mean, and it that one doesn't have the feel of a real series finale, whereas this other one did, where like everybody's out there grilling and like you have all the characters, you know what I'm saying? And so I think it's very interesting how production happens, and I don't even know what happened, but I just feel like there was something amiss, you know?
Yeah.
Like something not went wrong, but sorry, I just read something about Game of Thrones Broadway play.
Okay, so all right, so we're doing Mike Jed. So we're doing we totally came. We got it. Sorry, we're doing where am I at? Wrong page. 1996's Beavis and Butthead Do America, PG-13, 121 minutes, animation adventure comedy, released December 20th, 1996. Our intrepid adolescent heroes wake up to find their beloved television stolen and embark on an epic journey across America to recover it. And who knows, maybe even score. Directors Mike Judge and Mike DeSevi. And then it says Mike Judge and Joe Stillman, or the writers. And then we're also doing, 2006's Idiocracy. Rated R, 124 minutes, adventure, comedy, sci-fi. Released January 25th, 2007. Private Joe Burrows, the definition of average American, is selected by the Pentagon to be the guinea pig for a top secret hibernation program. Forgotten, he awakens 5 centuries in the future. He discovers society is so incredibly dumbed down that he's easily the most intelligent person alive. Director Mike Judge, story by Mike Judge. One thing I do love about Mike Judge is he does a lot of his own stuff. And in that podcast, he was talking about how he just started, how he learned. It's crazy how he's doing like YouTube stuff without YouTube, you know, just going to a library and then just reading all the books and like going through the books and like YouTube. That's how he did it. Dude, you're right. I'm very proud that he did it. He wasn't born here, but he's been here a long time. So he's one of us. Yeah, he's one of us, and he definitely what do you call it? Depicts us pretty well. I did like how Mark Maron's also from Albuquerque, so they had a lot of common stuff. So it's pretty cool. Like you kind of just they're meeting and getting to know each other on the podcast, and then as you start to just to hear how he's like his timeline, kind of how he got started. Beavis and Butthead, I got introduced with them in high school. Or no, sorry, I was in high school. I was in like was it third grade maybe? Something like that. I think I was like really young.
Yeah, man, because let's see, I was like in first and second grade. I had this little TV that was in my room, and it picked up some channels. And I remember watching Beavis and Butthead, Celebrity Deathmatch, stuff that I had no business watching at that age. But it's whatever, man.
Really? Did you? It's okay. It's okay to watch some stuff like that. I mean, I'm not gonna let my son ever watch it. Not playing.
Because I'm screwed up doesn't mean.
No, I don't think. What do you call? No, my dad used to get so pissed off. No MTV. I'm like, why? And then one time he got mad at me, and I was watching VH1. He thought it was MTV, and I was like, well, I guess I'm screwed either way. You can't tell the difference. So I'm just. It wasn't like MTV was like a big part of my I was actually a big part of my upbringing. Actually, I'm thinking as I think about it. I'm sorry, I just put Beavis and Butthead on and it said MTV production. I do like a lot of the MTV movies, man. But like you were saying before we got started, that this is made during an election year, and Black Sheep is also in '96, isn't it? And isn't that an MTV production?
I believe so.
So this is the whole Rock the Vote still, huh?
Mm-hmm. But it doesn't even have that feel to it. Really,
but just to kind of let them know that MTV is down with the demographic, or
that they are.
It's cool to do.
Pay attention to politics, I guess. What their MTV is kind of.
I mean, remember this is spoilers. Bill Clinton does come out in the end.
Yeah, I think
So
my judge does Bill Clinton. Oh, that sounds terrible. But
one thing I loved right away off the bat was when I got started on this. I watched this last night, and I paused it on the when I I owned this on DVD, and this just shows you how lazy I am. It was I was gonna rent it because I was like I like listening to the movie with my earbuds on.
Mhm.
And I could do it with my TV. I could watch it on the big screen and listen to the AirPods. So I don't mind watching it. I mean, I prefer watching it on digital, but I always love the DVD when I want. If it's on my own, like if it's just regular on my own, I'm just gonna put the DVD in. But if it's a podcast, I'm gonna do it more because I want to really capture a lot of the movie. So I rented. I said, do you want to rent it for $3.99 or buy it for $4.99? I was like, I'm just gonna buy it. So I just bought it. So now I own it on the DVD. But
dude, you know what's crazy is it was like on HBO Max 2 days ago. Like I checked it like on April.
No,
1st,
we talked about
it. It was still there, and then last night I went to go watch it. It wasn't on there, and I was like, "Damn."
Yeah,
I don't mind paying for them at all, but I was just like,
dude, that's exactly what happened with this one. Because I remember you did do a check because you said at the very last episode, you're like, let me see what's here, and
I always like checking because I want to know. Okay, I got to pay for this. It's what $3.99 to rent it. And more times than not, I'm going to rent it just because I like being
freezing up a bit. We're freezing up.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, hold on. Let's see. All right, there you go. Try it. Let's see.
Oh, am I good now? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Go.
Now I'm just gonna fuck with you the entire time.
I'm gonna take it, and then we'll get a large order with an extra. And
but yeah, no, I always just like checking. I always like checking just to kind of know, and that way, if I'm already paying for it and I can get it, why not?
Yeah. And well, the thing about Amazon is when you pause it, it has like a little profiles of the actors and the characters and who they're playing, and it'll say who's on the screen. And when I paused it on the scene where Beavis and Butthead were going to the high school to get the TV,
mm-hmm.
and it shows a characters played by Mike Judd, and I was just like, and after hearing that podcast and hearing like how he did everything, it's like so awesome that I was just like, oh dude, this guy does it all. He does a lot of the voices of the main characters on the show himself. So the show, the show was a little over my head. I didn't understand about the whole like they're mocking kind of music videos and time music at the time. But I got it after I saw it when I got older. But when I was younger, I was like, okay, it's Beavis and Butthead. They're really worried about us like imitating them. Like I was like, we're doing way worse shit than Beavis and Butthead was doing.
Well, it probably wasn't even. They probably just interacted with people outside that we had no interaction with. They're like, Jesus, these are just, so they're just like, oh no. Because I feel like, dude, there are definitely people, like, the more you grow up, the more you realize that there are Beavises and Buttheads out there, that just maybe not to the extreme that these guys go, but there are definitely people like that out there. Just, yeah, fart.
Yeah.
Like, it happens, man. It happens. Natural selection, I mean, they bring it up in Idiocracy, but it is not, I mean, you can get away with a lot of dumb shit nowadays and still be alive. Whereas, 50 years ago, you probably wouldn't be breathing,
Yeah.
But what's crazy? This is always nice to do a check on this. 50 years ago was 1970.
Wow.
How crazy is that?
1971. Not bad.
Somebody posted the other day. It was like, this is what you think Super Mario looked like 20 years ago. This is what it actually looks like 20 years ago. And it's like a Super Mario like world compared to like the N64 like version where it's like Super Mario Party. And it was just like, oh, you're absolutely right. Like, isn't that weird how, because we were talking about nostalgia.
Yeah,
and just how like your mind kind of freezes once you get to a certain age, your mind kind of freezes of like, okay, this I'm keeping track of time through this,
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
So that's very interesting.
But that one, my cousin sent me a meme the other day. Let me find it real quick. It was exactly what you're talking about, man. And I was like,
the same meme because mine was a meme as well. Yeah.
Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. It was no, it was about let's see, where is it at? Damn, we send a lot of memes to each other. Damn, it was about oh no. He goes, it was a Final Fantasy meme, and it was like the Final Fantasy came out 20 years ago on PlayStation 2. We're like, no, it didn't. It came out way before that.
Yeah.
Like, and it was like way longer.
Way before.
And the meme shows the person like, no, it didn't. Is it right here? Is this the one? Yeah. What Final Fantasy released 20 years ago? I don't know. I don't know. An old one, like for the NES, it was Final Fantasy X for the PlayStation 2. That was 20 years ago. I was like, shit, we haven't played Final Fantasy for a long time.
It's crazy, man.
You just, I mean, and I gotta say, by watching, like now with you and I, the way we kind of break movies down, and the way I'm getting a lot more into like the whole process of it, because I mean that's what we are, we're filmmakers. So as I see this movie and I just see the way like Mike Judge does all the voices, I'm like, dude, this was like insane for him just to he's kind of just taking us on a little journey out of his head. Like Beavis and Butthead, like they literally, where they go, it all made, like when I watched it, and I saw it in the theaters, and when I watched it, I thought it was funny just to watch Beavis and Butthead do their little thing. And then I watched it on pay-per-view, and then I think I owned the VHS at one point. And then, I'd watch it and never really got it. And then when I watched it recently, like, last night, I was just laughing my ass off because I started getting all the references. I started just like cracking up with like, right here.
Dude, so it just said that Isaac Hayes was in this movie.
Yeah.
He did I didn't even realize that. I just saw that because I have it on too. But yeah, he did that song at the very beginning.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like I don't know if we talked about it before the show, and I was saying he's in this.
No, I was simply just saying that he was, because we were talking about damn.
Yeah, no, I was saying
Men in Tights. Wow. Okay. Yeah, man. This whole opening scene where it's like a 70s detective too, like. So you have to imagine. How old was Mike Judge whenever he made this anyway?
Probably 30. Let's see.
Probably 30.
Probably 30.
Okay, let's see.
I'll do the math. Let's see what you got.
Let's see here. Let me just look him up real quick.
I got it.
But what I'm saying is like, so this is going to be Taylor. This was
34.
30. He was 34 when he made this.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is going to be tailored to people that kind of grew up watching these kind of 70s shows where they're doing karate and they're doing all this other goofy stuff and they have those hairdos. So it's just it's funny to watch all these little things, because I was watching and I was like, yeah, the 70s was 20 years ago from 96.
Yeah, 96.
So
that's 50 years now, huh?
Yeah, right. 50 years. So this movie is 30 years old? Shit. No, it's gonna be 30 in a couple years. It's 25 right now. 25 years old. Wow, it's growing up so fast. Yeah.
I mean, just the way he brings back everything too, like the way the guys that starts off, they steal the TV,
baby, yeah,
the TV, and then it's the same guys that were supposed to kill the wife, but then the Mighty Grimes is so drunk all the time that he gets Beavis and Butthead confused with those guys, and then they come. It's like there's a bunch of ties in this, and then it's actually like they just kind of go on a big old loop because they start off right where they begin. They get their original TV back, and it just kind of go on this journey. And that's what I love about the story. I mean, but the way of making it just seems like it's just a bunch of voiceovers. It's just you got yourself, Bruce Willis, and we all know that Bruce had a issue with Kevin Smith, and we're a big Kevin Smith fan, but I love Bruce Willis movies, man. Like,
yeah, just because two people can't work together doesn't mean they can't be friends.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
And I really exactly, you're right. And then some people too, they could work well as movies and they hate each other in real life,
Yeah, and
so
Cop Out wasn't a terrible movie.
I need to rewatch it. I paid for it, but I don't remember it, man.
That whole Sean William Scott scene where he's like, no, and like that's probably the most iconic part, but it was hilarious, man. It really was.
I gotta give it do a rewatch.
So, you all right?
Yeah, that's
Hopefully,
okay.
hopefully you didn't hit your knee, dude. My knee has been killing me lately.
That was my ankle. I
Um,
was shifting right here. Yeah,
uh,
but go for it.
oh, what I was gonna say, man, is like it kind of feels like this movie is like, you know how they kind of go on an adventure without even knowing they're on an adventure. They're just
Yeah.
kind of going with the flow. That felt like my 20s, you know, like it's kind of like, yeah, we'll go with it. We'll go with it. We'll see where we go here. Yeah, I'll go along. Yeah, I'll ride with you. I had a lot of those, like, not misadventures, but like I would get myself into situations that was just like, how did I end up here?
Yeah, no, dude, I got a lot of those. I think,
Uh,
I had a friend of mine tell me this when I was real young. He's younger than me by a couple years, but one time, I didn't do the traditional stuff, and I tried to, but it doesn't work out for me. And he said, hey, homie, don't worry, all that wander aren't all lost. And I was like, yeah, you're right. I'm just kind of figuring this out for myself. He's like, yeah, man, just keep doing it. And I was like, okay. And what he was saying, like, just keep being yourself, kind of thing, and you'll figure it out eventually. And he was right. And that's just really, it was a real, like, for a younger person to really like have that kind of clarity to share with another younger person. And you're right, that was a quote you said, because I think about Clerks too, when Randall says, when time was behind us or in front of us, like we talked about it, and it is a big deal. Like you don't know what's coming, and it has like a sense to it, but once you start seeing everything and it becomes like a job, or it becomes like a pattern, you're just like, oh shit.
See, I wish whenever they started Clerks 2, it would have shown like Dante in his bed as opposed to the closet, because like whenever you wake up in the closet, you know what I'm saying?
Clerks
In
1.
Clerks, no, I'm saying in Clerks 2.
No,
I would rather,
he doesn't start off. He goes straight to the quick stop.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I would like to see
Oh,
Dante in his bed, so that way you're like, okay, he's kind of over that time in his life where you wake up in a closet and you're like, oh, what? Oh yeah, I can be there. Because that's what you do in your 20s. Somebody calls you,
yeah,
and you're kind of disoriented, and you're like, oh shit, yeah, I can come into work. I don't have any other responsibilities. Why not? And you just get in that mindset. It's just like, I can work anytime. I can do whatever they need me to, and you're almost like that star employee, kind of like
in your head.
Oh yeah, this
yeah, you're right.
Yeah, well, yeah, in your
No,
head.
you're right.
But,
You're
I mean,
right. Though,
also like, because not everybody picks up shifts. You have those older people that are just like, oh no, I can't do that. I have shit I have to do. I have other things that I need to come first before work.
it's really easy to become Calvin from waiting. Like, you're right. Once people know they can rely on you, or just like
he was trying to get laid. That's a little different.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying, but he was picking up like shifts for the. Oh yeah, you're right. There was a motive behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, yeah, he's actually just picking up Jessica's shifts. Yeah, you're right. Anyways, it was like, it is like that where, I mean, when you see that, like, you can be at work and then just pick up another shift while you're at work is one thing. And once the owner and some management know you do that, they already put you like as a go. You're right. You are an all-star because you are like, you're their go-to, but they don't.
And then whenever you don't do it, you're the worst employee ever.
They hate you, man. They hate you. This dick over here that doesn't take any shifts. I'm like, I just worked like 8 weeks in a row. Like, what do you mean? Like, I'm burnt out. Like, I don't even want to be here. It was like, or like, and they did that to me. They would do that to me. They'd make work me a long time. And then on my day out, they'd be like, oh, we have a meeting. Like, we never have meetings. Why do we meeting at work?
Well, I guess I'll miss this one. No, yeah, man. It's kind of funny to get a manager that kind of works like that. They're like, oh, you can't work this. Oh, well, I guess you're not, a material. I'm like, all right, cool. I guess I'm not, like I'm at that point now where I'm just like, no, man, I have a life outside of here now. I'm not just, drinking and doing stuff after I get off work. Like, I have people that I want to be around, and that is more important to me than making $3 more,
But the company needs you. I don't feel that a lot in Beavis and Butt. I do feel that in Idiocracy a lot. We could talk about it, that topic there.
Yeah.
But I'll say this. Check this out, man. Talk about repeat offenders. Cloris Leachman.
Yeah, dude.
R.I.P. Let's take a moment of silence.
Travis and Bobhead. Dude. That is hilarious, dude.
Well, and you actually do find out that
so well mannered.
You do find out that oh man, she's a Cloris Leachman is she's been on the show quite a few times. She's one of our repeat offenders, and we always love it when
History of the World Part 1.
Yeah.
What else?
She was in. Oh no, I think maybe I had seen. She's been in a few other movies we've done.
Did you watch Beer Fest?
Not yet. I still gotta watch it again.
Always
I haven't.
sleep a little bit better with a wiener inside of me.
Mama, Graham was a whore. Yeah. But I will. She does that. Oh, she was a chef. Yeah, she does
What
a
do you
great
think this
job.
is? It's the horse mark. Like,
She does a great job. You know what's funny also with the I think they take the Amazon takes the IMDb profiles or something and puts the characters, but in this movie it says here Pamela Blair flight attendant, but instead of having a picture of Pamela Blair, it has the picture of the character,
flight attendant. Yeah.
the flight attendant. But it might be her. I don't know if it's based off her. You never know. You know.
I mean, they
It's
got
like
to
there's
get
so much.
inspiration somewhere.
I like that. I think what Mike Judge did in this movie was he just took. He was like, "This is where I've created Beavis and Butthead's world. Let me just show you what they kind of are." Because the show was just a bunch of little clips, you know.
Yeah.
And Frog Baseball was the very first like Beavis and Butthead's episode at that where it's a little short he made, and that's what kind of got him recognized. Man, this guy Mike Judge is extremely smart.
So.
And, what's up?
Which is funny because he makes such dumb material,
Well,
but
I
it's
was thinking
smart.
about that because it's easy. It's easy for him to kind of go back. If he was like 27 or 26 when he got Beavis and Butt up and running, like it was too hard for him to go back and look into like high school or something, you know, or just look around and see what the kids are doing, you know, like
Yeah. Well, and also the animation is different, but it's good. Like it
holds up.
yeah, man. Like it looks like I don't know, not like Land Before Time or something, but you know what I'm saying? Like it just has that kind of grimy feel, but clean at the same time. It's weird, man. It's not like that like moving all around kind of shit, but it's just like
it's settled. It's paced. It feels. I mean, because also these are hand. This is hand drawn.
yeah.
So everything definitely has a purpose. Where digital, we kind of just copy and repeat and paste, and wherever you just move little parts here and there. Where hand 2D is like literally putting down pen to paper, or pencil to paper, and then drawing it out, etching it out. And, I think King of the Hill, they were.
I think
overseas.
they blend. It started hand drawn, but then I think they transitioned over to digital like everybody
But they're
else.
hand drawn. I think it was in the Philippines or maybe the Korea where they got their like they get their, I guess, the in betweens is what they call them. You know, the shots from like one point to point B, then between all that. I do like that. Also, Las Vegas is a repeat offender again on this.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's to me, I will say that I love Vegas and I love the Red Hot Chili Pepper like intro song to it. It's pretty cool how these guys are just idiots. Like they're hovering on, they're trying to grab the boobs. They're just kids. They're 15 years old, I believe, right? Is that what you can establish? You actually meet their fathers.
15 years later.
So it's like they're like 15 years old. So they're definitely kids.
Yeah.
Just,
Talking about whenever they're in the airplane, are you right there too?
no, I'm a little bit ahead of you.
A little bit ahead. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. Whenever he gets up out of his seat and
That chick, you want to do that thing again?
Yeah.
Another thing is with Mike Judge, his voice sounds a lot like Butthead in real life. Very, very similar.
yeah,
Very, very similar. And you also find out that Butthead's name, his first name's Butt, and his last name's Head.
yeah.
And you know, and do you know what a Beavis is?
Is it a vagina?
No, it's on the it's on the male part.
Oh no, what's a Beavis?
I think, and I could get this wrong. I think it's like a vein in the penis.
Ah, interesting.
So that's even like just to come up with that name. Like, I mean, Beavis to me, I don't.
So here's the real question: do you think they're brothers, or do you think they're?
No, it's the two different, or those guys brothers. So these guys wouldn't be brothers. These guys would be cousins then.
Well,
But there's two chicks.
Yeah, but it looks like the Beavis dad. I mean, granted, you know, or the Butthead dad. He was like, "No, you didn't do those chicks."
Yeah, but he's just hating on him. He's like, but also Beavis is also that little sneaky guy that he could go off on the side and watch, you know, why Butthead's not looking and hang out with the girls or something. Because there's two chicks, they both have to get pregnant at the same time, and just doing the natural cause of it. And then and even though Butthead denies him, it doesn't mean that Beavis still didn't do it because the dad is right there clearly.
Yeah.
So so
that's funny that they meet their dad and they're just like totally oblivious, dude. That's
Well, I like the fact that they meet their dads and then they're just like all this. Like, it's like two little scenes, two little like snippets, and he's just farts like that. Just that blows like, hey, check this out. That's like I mean, you never met your kid, and that's what you show him. Like that's like the first thing you show your kid, or like you don't even know he's your kid. You guys don't even know you're related, but still, that's like we know. That's like I don't.
God damn, dude.
They were roadies for Motley Crue. That's why they're.
That's David Letterman.
Oh yeah, David Letterman plays the character. Yeah, there are quite a few cameos in this movie. Robert Stack, another repeat offender.
Repeat offender. Yep.
From basketball.
Which is funny because I heard his voice. I was like, "That's Robert Stack." But whenever I got on IMDb, I was like, "That was Bruce Willis." Like that kind of caught me off guard.
Oh
I guess I wasn't listening for his voice, or maybe it's because it almost sounds like he put like kind of like a little Southern accent in there too. I could be wrong, but because like whenever he plays in Look Who's Talking, I mean, you know right away that's Bruce Willis. Like that's Bruce Willis's voice.
Yeah, and it's like it's not only him, like it sounds like him. Like sounds like he's just talking.
And this one does not sound like him hardly at all.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah.
Do you know who the other guy is? The agent with Robert Stack's character? You know who the other guy is?
No, who's that?
Greg Kinnear.
Yeah, that's about right.
You know, it was funny when I was going through the IMDb before you saw this. I saw he was in it, and I was like, I gotta guess who. I'm gonna guess. I don't remember who he is. And as soon as I heard his voice, I was like, yeah, there he is. That's it.
See, and that's another thing too. Like, whenever I was watching this, I wasn't really listening to the voices all that much. I was just like kind of focusing on the movie because I don't know if I've ever seen this.
You don't? Whoa!
I don't believe I have. I mean, maybe like tidbits here and there, but I have not sat down and watched this entire movie. So yeah, I was really just kind of paying attention to what's going on everywhere. Like I said, Robert Stack was the only one that kind of like took me out, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that has to be Robert Stack.
Yeah. Let's see. I was gonna do some of the trivia on it. Yeah.
Oh, and Richard Linklater.
Yeah.
We have another. Yeah, he's
repeat offender. He's the tour bus driver. I saw at the end. I was like, what? Richard Linklater's in this.
I'm not seeing Greg Kinnear on here.
Yeah, he is.
Is it like a?
It's on the what do you call it? Or I don't know how I got his. He's on it on the. Yeah, he is right there. ATF Agent Bork under Jason Harris. Yeah.
Maybe he's uncredited.
Look, Bill Farmer's in this. You know who Bill Farmer is, right? Remember?
Hey, Goof.
Hey, Goof. He's in this movie.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. He's and David Spade was in this as well. Repeat offender there.
What character?
I have no clue, but he's on IMDb.
David Spade.
As uncredited as it just says uncredited voice.
Yeah. Probably came in for a day or something, and Mike was like, "Hey, come on." I do love I need to spice up my my IMDb.
Wait. Bill Farmer. Oh, he's Goofy. It's that's who he plays.
Yeah.
And then I got that confused for a second.
And look who's also here from South Park. Mary Kay Bergman. Remember she?
Oh yeah, she's Stan's mom.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she plays Sharon.
She says various characters.
Oh, that was the one who killed herself.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, so you give her a shout out there.
Oh wow, yes.
Yeah, she's very good. Let's see. There's also this guy. I don't know how to say his last name. I'm gonna butcher it up. Eric Bogosian. He's been in a lot of movies. He's got a lot of characters in this. He's got 3 characters. He's got Ranger at the Old Faithful, White House Press Secretary, Lieutenant at Strategic Air Command, and he's been in quite a few things. He plays kind of a psycho guy. Under Siege 2, Uncut Gems. He's in here. Wonderland and Talk Radio are some of his movies he's been in. I've seen him, he mainly plays like a villain. He's also a writer. That's cool, man. That's cool. Keep it up. Let's see. But this movie with the trivia, I think I liked a lot of the just like you said, the transitions, the movie itself. There is that MTV part though that when they hallucinate, I felt like that was pure MTV right there.
Dude, that was. I mean, imagine, because I feel like this is the movie where, let's go get stoned, or let's go take shrooms and watch this movie.
Yes.
And then like an hour in, you get that, and then you're just like,
true.
Because there's some movies that I feel like they're just trying to fuck with you. Sausage Party. That's one of them. Uh, a lot of it seems like a lot of adult animated features have that aspect to it. But I mean, what's crazy though is like whenever you have like people trying to show what drugs are like in like a real life movie, it always comes across as corny and kind of like like in what is it, 21 Jump Street, whenever he's like you see his like face melting in ice cream, like, and all this other stuff. But this one, I mean, it's the animated ones I feel like get it better because they have more, you can roam around a little bit more, like the lightning and everything. And was that Rob Zombie playing, or was it said White Zombie? Maybe I was just.
Oh yeah, sometimes it'll give you the band playing. If there's a band playing, it'll say in the back.
But yeah, man, it's yeah, I think the animated versions of a psychedelic trip are way better.
Yeah, I mean, like,
obvious
like you watch Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, like,
oh my god, that one's probably the most. Yeah, that one probably gets
the whole movie's like that, dude.
We're in back country, just like
Hunter Thompson, man, dude, the way he took himself out too, man. He was like, that's a warrior, man. He side note, I think his story is that he was supposed to go over and be covering. He's like a journalist and cover, like the war on, like, I don't know, maybe Afghanistan or somewhere, but instead, or I don't know, I forgot where he was going, Vietnam. I don't know, it was a long time ago. But
if it was in the 70s, 60s, it was probably Vietnam.
Yeah, no, I'm so sorry.
War, one
of those. And but he, instead of like reporting or something, he was like doing drugs. Now I have to find out what he was just getting like wasted and going on these trips and stuff. But now I gotta look it up because I haven't heard that thing in years. But yeah, he was going out there, man. He was like doing like his own shit. That was pretty cool. Yeah, here he is. Agent. So Robert Stack plays Agent Fleming. Yeah, and Greg Kinnear plays Agent Bork. And he looks all funny. Oh, and then the ladies, there's like Agent Hurley, Enema, for every cavity search for everybody. Like,
yeah.
You know what's crazy about, I caught on, like in like the first, I stopped counting, but there's like 5 broken TVs like in the first 30 minutes of this movie. Yeah. They break TVs all the time. That's why they keep going. Even like if you count the dam, even if you count the dam, it like they break like 6 monitors there. So I don't know if there was, I stopped counting, but I think there's like, I don't know if there's a trend there where TVs keep breaking, and then like he spits the hot cola on it.
Beavis and Butthead broke so many TVs. Now they're breaking a movie theater near you.
Let's see. I keep trying to say I'm gonna go. I just think this movie's funny, dude. Just like the way from like just the idiocracy of this movie is funny. Like,
yeah, you want to know what I thought was probably the funniest damn moment of this entire movie is whenever they're in DC and they get on the intercom and they said something about erection or something like that, and then they shoot a scene at the Senate or the Congress, and they're just like, like the entire, and I was just like, yep.
Oh yeah, they all go, yeah.
Yeah, they're all acting like Beavis and Butthead. I'm like, yep.
Yeah. That was
outright.
I forgot that the Chelsea Clinton cameo was in here.
Was that Chelsea? That was Chelsea Clinton.
Chelsea Clinton, dude. I remember.
You know what's funny is that she's packing her bags. I wonder if Mike Judge thought that they were gonna lose. And I was kind of thinking that too. I was like, I wonder if that was like a little like they're about to leave the White House, because like I said, election year, it was 1996, and it came out, what you said, oh yeah, it probably came out during the summer if I had to guess.
What
correct?
What Beavis and Butthead?
Beavis and Butthead.
Was it January? Was that what it said? No, it came out December, right? Is that what I just said? Yeah, December. So right.
Was it December?
Yeah.
So it was right after.
So it was kind of like getting you ready for the election, I guess, if anything.
No, because the election already took place
in November.
But
they've been marketing it for like 6 months prior to that. But yeah. I don't know. Yeah, you're right. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they missed the curve or something.
Well, I mean, South Park did it. I mean, they thought Clinton was going to win, and they had the whole Garrison being Trump deal, and then they had to deal with that for 4 years. But they made it work. A lot of people gave them shit for it, but that first season where they had that, they kind of overdid the whole Garrison thing, and then they corrected that after that. But
I thought it was still funny though. The shit.
Oh, I mean, it's still the member berries and everything, like it's hilarious, but just like what's crazy is you go back and you watch South Park and you're just like, this it's kind of like The Simpsons. It's going to have not necessarily low points, but dips, and where it's not, not
I don't know,
not
man.
not the same. Well, and another thing they did there too is they were trying to do a cohesive story throughout the season. And
Yeah.
it was almost like they were trying to play with that to where they eventually got it to where what they do is they have different episodes, but it's like one thing that follows you through the season.
Yeah.
It's just like this instead of like all these things kind of culminating together and bam.
But I think what helps me out with that and with South Park is I remember because they're in time. They're talking about live events. So I think what helps me out is that kind of like the fact that they are over there, because when everyone's talking about it over here and I don't want to hear about it and I'm just like, oh, and then they start making fun. I'm like, let me go over here, hang out over here.
Yeah. Well,
I think I'm saying when I go back and I watch some old South Park, it just reminds me of that time when I just start laughing again. Like I laugh harder. I don't know, maybe because I have the member berries. I'm like, you remember berries.
You remember Jawas.
Remember.
Oh wait, never mind. You don't remember all that Star Wars stuff.
Oh no. I watch Star Wars. I just don't put it forward because my hand goes like this when I do that. Oh, sick bird.
It's a nice vagina you got in your hand there. It's a nice butthole you got in your hand there.
Butthole and anus are to be brought to you by Side by Side.
Entertain us. You said anus.
You said anus. Like, get out of the cockpit. You said
Yeah, that was like some fucking Celebrity Jeopardy shit right there. I'd like ape tit for 400, Alex. It's a petite déjeuner.
But the thing I love about this movie is that you have these simplistic characters that they don't make any decisions. Really, they don't. And they're getting through life because decisions are being made around them. Kind of like South Park in a way. You know what? I do love that this was 96. So we're starting to see the animation kick up a lot. From episode 1 of Simpsons to where they're now. It's like it's a huge jump. But then South Park is barely getting started. We saw the way South Park got started. So then it has to do its evolution, its growth. Family Guy, the same thing.
Yeah, when did Beavis and Butthead the show?
I will say Futurama did not do that. Once they got started, they stayed with their look because they're in the future and they could stay like that. And also the Critics that I'm waiting today to arrive, the DVD set is also, I think it's dated, but I like the way it reminds me of the Beavis and Butthead style.
Yeah. Well, and another thing too with Futurama is that it was okay, cool. On February 24th, 2021, a second movie based on Beavis and Butthead was also announced for streaming service Paramount Plus.
So there's one made?
There's going to be one. Because they brought it back for a little bit, recently.
Yeah, I remember they did bring it back. I didn't watch any of it, but I know they did.
Yeah, it was 2011. They had.
You know what? Just by saying that,
episodes.
Do you realize that's 10 years ago?
I mean, we were talking about that earlier, dude. And like, no, it blows my mind.
It goes by and especially now, I feel like with 2020 just passing the way it passed, and now 2021 is a little bit of the same. Like it's hard. You got to find ways to catch time, or where you can bottle it for your memories or something. I don't know, for your member berries. I don't mind member berry conversations. I just don't want to have them every day, every topic. I like them once in a while, or when I haven't seen someone in a while. I like catching up like that. And this movie kind of reminds me of all my favorite scenes in this movie are the Tom Anderson freaking.
Yeah. You mean Hank Hill?
Hank Hill, dude. The way he gets screwed over. Oh, this is nice right here. This is what I needed, and the wave hits him.
Hey, I'm a two-war veteran. Dude, you know what's crazy is, oh man, that used to always get me in customer service. We'd have this one guy who would call in. He would get the same thing every time. He would make his wife come and get it for him. And anytime his order, because he would get like an Alfredo dish, and he said like every time he wants it like sloppy, like as much Alfredo as you can get on there.
Make it gross.
Seriously, dude.
I've never sent it back for being too gross. Let's just say that.
Yeah, but not gross enough. Yeah, send it back, dude. But he would, anytime his order wasn't right, he would always come up. I'm a veteran of the United States of America, and this is ridiculous, the service that you're giving to me. Blah, da, 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 da. And it just was like, all right, man, let me make you your sloppy seconds, because like we'll get it right this time. You know?
Well, that he's saying that so you can get his order right because you, sir, are privileged.
Yeah, right. I don't know, dude. It's crazy the way people think about it.
Yeah,
you know, well, because like, but I think a lot of that comes like from my dad. Like he was always very, very humble about his service. He never flaunted it in anybody's face. Like he was like, I was drafted. That was my duty.
Yeah,
you know,
that's pretty sweet.
Yeah,
I mean, I think I got drafted, but the fact that he had an attitude like that, like to go in with like,
you know, and he lost a finger. He had shrapnel in his leg. Like he earned a Purple Heart for it, and still had that kind of attitude. Like, no, I mean, there are people that died. There are people that came back worse than me. It was kind of like his like, I'm still able bodied, and he worked till the day he died, man. Like literally.
Yeah, this your dad? Your dad has a Purple Heart?
Yeah.
That's pretty badass, dude. You come from some noble blood there, my friend.
Yeah. This is my stepfather, but yes.
But I mean, just to be around that, just to be, oh, that's what we did acknowledge that I wanted to say, but just to be around that, like, just to be able to that kind of, you know, my stepdad is very quiet, you know, so it makes me feel like if I'm talking too much, but then he likes to be entertained. So it's just like, you know, entertain me. I was like, okay, yeah. I'm your monkey. You know, it's like, here we go, sir. I got a joke for you. I mean, you know, just, you know, as a kid, you grew up like that. And as an adult, I'm still like, he's like, what else you got? What else can you know, it's cool to kind of still have that, like, that sense that he hasn't forgotten that what I like enjoy doing. He likes to kind of dip in a little bit.
My dad would do that too. And I don't know, because it's funny. Just like I said, you get older and you start thinking about stuff. And my mom always mentioned like, hey, he would be a great actor. Like he would have been a great actor just because like, you know, if he was ever making fun of us, he'd be like, oh, you know, and, you know, kind of imitating and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he would do that. And then like we've been talking lately, and hell, there were Saturdays that we would watch movies and Saturdays that we would work. But he would always order off a pay-per-view. So he had to have some affinity for movies to pay, what was it, like $8?
Yeah.
How much was it back then? I can't even remember.
Dude,
it may have been like $10
or $9 or something like that.
Yeah. For some of them, they were a little expensive. But to do that like on a weekly or semi-weekly basis, I mean, you got to be like, interesting. And then he also, I mean, he took me to see Shrek in the theaters because he heard it was a good movie. He took me to go see Matrix Reloaded when, like, the day it came out because he knew how excited I was about it.
I love that movie.
Same with Revenge of the Sith. I mean, him and my mom took me opening night to go see that, or if not the very next day. You know, like, so I have to assume that he probably enjoyed cinema as well. It's not something that we necessarily bonded over at the time, but like looking back, I was like, yeah, it's kind of interesting, you know. If I was able to like get a little bit older and understand a little bit more, because I was 18 when he passed, and I don't know. He always told me I didn't have a lot of common sense, and that's very true. And you know, over the past 10 years, I've been getting a little bit better at it. But
yeah,
you know, it's crazy the things you learn when you grow up and you kind of do a little bit of reflection and think about things in the past, and you're like, and you, like you said, you just kind of like piece everything together and figure it out, you know, kind of taking a step back. Now, unfortunately, I know I can't be like, hey, did you really like movies a whole lot?
Yeah, I got you.
But
being able to pick up on that means you have time there spent, you know. I mean, I'm pretty sure my dad loves movies. He never talks to me about anything, but when we talk about sports and gardening, but what do you call it? I'm happy to hear your dad would buy movies. My dad had that black box, so I just watched like whatever. So I had like a endless stream access of just movies. And I mean, for that, I guess it's creating who I am, who I've been. You know, it's comfortable with it. I'm like, yeah, that's what I do. I like watching movies. And it is a cool bond too to have. You know, my stepdad showed me something. These stories that they would tell, they tell you. I like to pay attention and listen to them and get all the details. And I'll share this, and we'll get back into the subject. But because it was about movies, but man, oh no, this is not about movies related, so I'm not going to say it. I'll tell you later. I'll tell you I'll tell you the story off the show, because it's a good story, but it's not movie related, so I don't want to sidetrack from that. But I do love the fact that that my dad, he does have a sense of understanding. Like, he'll call me once in a while and be like, "There's Pluto TV. There's this movie there. You need to watch it." And it's funny because when I talk to you, you're like, "Hey, there's a movie on Pluto TV. I saw this movie on Pluto," and I'm like, "Well, Ben watches it on Pluto." And then you tell me, "Yeah, you should watch it. It's there." And I just think about every time you say something, I think of my dad going, "Yeah, it's on Pluto TV. It's this movie. It's called Spice Girls. Have you seen it?" I was like, "No, what? Yeah."
Well, since we're talking about that, have you seen this movie called Mallrats? It's on Tubi right now.
Tubi. Yes, I own the movie Mallrats there. Yeah, I love that movie. Like I said before when we talked about it in the Kevin Smith episode.
How am I going to get that gerbil out?
Chocolate pretzel. Like I said, I remember like no one knew how to talk about that movie, but I remember watching it and being like, no one wants to talk about it. And Beavis and Butthead was kind of not that movie. We could talk about it. Like I grew up around a lot more Gen Xers. So this is definitely Gen X to the infinity power.
Dude, this is almost like Dumb and Dumber, but waste. I don't even want to say stupider, but just like on a different level.
No, with Lloyd, Christmas, and Harry, they make decisions. They decide to make a decision to open the briefcase. Once they break it to spend the money. Those are IOUs. I didn't know what IOUs were as a kid. So I was like, oh, okay, they'll pay them back. And then I found out, no, it's a little paper.
This one, you need to hold on to this one right here. This one's worth $100,000.
But like watching these movies. And then with these guys, they don't make any decisions really, man. Like Beavis does make a decision to eat the pills because the grandma gives them, and it makes the cornholio.
What else you got?
what else you got here? I like those little words when there's little things like that. Beavis about it say that they're just a small little I don't know. I'm not the scene where they run into their dads, but like they say something like, what else you got? Or like just like the I am Cornholio, TV my bango, pan. Oh, what? Manolio. Especially when they get smited by God because they go into the confessional booth and they get hit. Like
I'm right there right now. Was she naked?
Was she naked? They got laid. Highland High School. Oh, I love the end of the song, the Lesbian Seagull. There's that ending song is Lesbian Seagull. And
I was thinking that was going to be the guy from Office Space, Michael Bolton. Because he always kind of plays that character in Mike Judge's.
David Herman.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping that was going to be him, but I didn't see him on the.
No,
IMDb.
But I did catch a Office Space character in Idiocracy that I didn't notice till this time. We'll get to that movie. We'll talk about that scene.
Okay.
Or I'll just tell you the camera guy, the guy when Dax and the camera guy.
Oh yeah. I noticed that too.
I never noticed it was. I think it's Mark in the movie. The O-face guy. I didn't know he was in there.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people from Office Space that came back. It feels
like. He did. And I mean,
got Stephen Root, Jennifer Aniston. I'm just joking.
I was like, was she in this movie? Yeah, David Herman. Let's see. I guess what's time we got? I mean, I think with Beavis and Butthead.
Greg Pitts that's his name, right?
Who?
The cameraman.
Yes. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Greg Pitts. Yeah.
Yeah. The O face. Oh. Where is he at?
What's crazy is, dude, there's like a couple guys that were doing TV around the same time as him that look very very similar to him, or that guy with like the football crew cut. And it has like the red hair kind of thing, but this one has blonde hair. You know what I'm saying? Like there's like three guys that kind of look all the same.
Yes.
They were like sister, and then
yeah.
You know what I'm saying, like, yeah, I always get them mixed up, but they're definitely different people.
They're imagine having that look that kind of everybody knows how you look.
Oh, and they also from what's Kevin's older brother's name? Starts with a B, doesn't it? It's not Buck. And Home Alone. Sorry, I'm talking to you like you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, out of your head. That's cool. It's with a B. It's I'll look it up.
It's a weird name too. It's not.
I think it is Bike, something like that. Let's see. Booger. His brother is Buzz.
Buzz. Who names it? That has to be a nickname. But you know what I'm saying? There's like there were a lot of people that kind of look like Buzz around that time.
I get what you're saying.
But he's actually Buzz has kind of had a little coming back up from not doing a whole lot of work.
The character, the guy, Devin Latray.
Yes, yeah.
What is
he's been in Masterminds. I think he was doing work here and there. I mean, he's had a pretty steady career.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah,
yeah. He's been pretty constant.
He's been in a lot of TV shows, stuff like he was in Dennis the Menace.
Dude, he's an actor. He's a that's what he. That's
so
cool.
I mean, okay,
61 credits.
Yeah, let's see here because it feels like there was a little. All right, 2009. I guess not. I thought there was like a little lull there, but there was not. He has been a steady actor. But he was in Nebraska, which was like an award-winning film. It was black and white. He was also recently.
Is that Bruce Dern, right? And Will was it Will Forte, right?
Yeah, Phil Forte.
I need to watch it. I haven't seen it. He's an R.I.
Oh, yeah, R.I.P.D. Masterminds was another one that he was in.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
Has Zach Galifianakis.
Is he being Zach Galifianakis, or is he being
no? He's like I think he's like an agent or something like that. Yeah. He's either that or he's helping him. I can't remember exactly what he does, but I definitely remember seeing him and be like, "Oh, you look familiar." But yeah, man, Beavis and Butthead. This the movie. It's almost like the Seinfeld movies, but it does have a plot.
That's nice to say. Yeah, that's actually a good comparison. Wow, you're right. Let me give you a little.
Yeah, it's like the movie about nothing, but it isn't at the same time. Because if their TV never got stolen, they would have still been right there. So what does that say about us, CJ? If our TVs got stolen, would we go wander around and actually do stuff?
No. We'd have our phones, and then we'd have computers, and then
we're good.
Then I got things. I got things to distract me. Check this out: 12 million budget. What you think the box office got?
A 4 million budget.
12 million budget.
12 million budget. I'm gonna say it at least doubled it, tripled it.
Yeah, 63.1 mil. So it did well, man.
Yeah, I mean, you have to assume that a lot of work went into this too. Like I said, hand drawn and everything like that.
I mean, I don't know if 12 mil would be a lot back then for a movie, but it was.
I feel like it would be, especially for an animated movie. Let's just do a comparison. Okay, so this was 96. Let's look at South Park's budget.
As you're doing
that was 3 years later, but I think you're gonna have CGI and everything with South Park. That wasn't hand drawn.
Oh, there is a little bit of I forgot to mention in Beavis and Butthead. I think it's the first one they do 3D, because there's that scene where they do the pan where they're dancing at the roller coaster. That little scene is computer generated. It's not 2D there. There's little scenes in this movie that has a little bit to it. Just stuff I've wondered of on the internet.
So the budget for South Park was 21 million. So almost double the budget of Beavis and Butthead. And like I said, you have to imagine that they had CGI and they had a lot of stuff going on there. Wow. And even Sausage Party, I mean, that grossed 140 million
that was
worldwide.
Just all hype, man. But it's not worth watching like more than like it's a stoner movie. It's not worth watching 2 or 3 times. It's I mean, I got to rewatch it again, but I didn't come out thinking like, okay. I was like, I
didn't feel like it wasn't. It didn't say anything that hadn't already been said. You know, it wasn't like a commentary like a lot of these other animated movies were. I mean, yeah, like okay, so Beavis and Butthead, you have ATF, okay, and then in South Park you have the Moms Against Canada and all that. So Mac, and they're pretty much like your your hype up of that mom who's just pissed off and everything. So you have that going on, and then you have the NSA and the Simpsons, right? What do you have in Sausage Party? You got religion.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, talk about beating a dead horse. I mean, at least with politics, the horse is still, kind of alive.
Well,
It's
also
still
too,
kind of
it's
thriving. I
forming,
feel like religion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Religion is like, don't get me wrong. I'm sure there's new religions that start every day, but there's some stuff that's set pretty deep into history and everything like that. Also, one cool thing about South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, it opened number 3 in the box office. You want to know what it was behind?
Was it
Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, okay, and Tarzan. It opened number 3 against those two.
Well, who stars in Tarzan, by the way?
Phil Collins.
Thank you. We know that's not right. Just say the name. Who stars in Tarzan?
Rosie O'Donnell.
Is she Tarzan?
Yeah, she.
Oh, is this the animated one?
Yeah, the animated one.
Sorry. I was thinking it was.
I was gonna say Tony Goldwyn, who was actually Tarzan, but I was like,
no, was it? Oh, I'm thinking. I'm so stupid. I'm stupid.
Which one were you thinking about?
George of the Jungle. Brandon Fraser. Forgot Tarzan had the animated one. You're right. When you said Phil Collins, I was like, oh wait, that's the song. You be mine.
Yeah, I think that was the only award that film won.
The McDonald's. I remember for that one from McDonald's. You know what? I'm looking at the writer Joe Stillman for Beavis and Butthead Do America, and he started off with 2 episodes of Doug in 1991. Then he went on to Adventures of Pete and Pete. Ooh. He did an episode of Clueless. Then he got on to 96 with Beavis and Butthead Do America. Then he wrote it. Then he he also wrote the TV series too. He wrote 8 episodes on Beavis and Butthead. He wrote for King of the Hill, The War Next Door, Joseph, King of Dreams. I don't know what that is. And then Shrek. Like Shrek, Planet 51.
Joseph, King of Dreams, I think was like DreamWorks animated, kind of like the Prince of Egypt kind of thing.
Yes, that's why
I think I do remember that. Yeah.
A prophet who has the ability to interpret dreams and sold into slavery in Egypt, where people learn of his gifts.
Isn't that crazy? They had like the DreamWorks of that Prince of Egypt and everything like that. It was a fantastic movie. I really enjoyed it, but it just,
But I like, the DreamWorks, they got it down once they figured it out. They got it.
And another thing too, I was just thinking about this. Toy Story was a Disney movie, but it was marketed by Burger King, not McDonald's. Do you think that like the Disney Pixar movies were like with Burger King, and then regular Disney movies were with McDonald's? Or
probably. Can I keep both sides happy? Maybe I could see that.
Well, and also Toy Story was that. There was no promise that was going to be a big movie. It was the start of that whole CGI animation. So
it's crazy. When I watched Toy Story 1, it looks dated, but if you just watch it, it looks dated. But when I sit down and like watch it, it doesn't look dated to me. Like when I actually when my son was young, Toy Story 3, we've seen it. Like, I mean that scene at the end.
Have you even seen Toy Story 2? Because I don't know if what was it I was watching? I think it was the Simpsons the other day. It was like a newer Simpsons episode, and it was like Fat Tony and one of his guys, and his guys was like telling all of his secrets and his things. Like, you even cried at Toy Story 2. It's not even a sad one. Like.
You cried Toy Story 2.
I
seen we saw all of them, but with Toy Story 3 he got on. We saw Onward like crazy too. He wants Onward, so he's like again. I saw Onward like 4 days in a row, like nonstop.
I watched that one. It was a good Pixar movie. I enjoyed it.
Oh, I loved it. I thought it was good. I thought it was well made.
Out of Onward or Soul, which one would you say?
Dude, that's not right, because Soul's the adult in me, but the kid in me is Onward.
Okay.
And they're both well made.
Okay.
Like if I had to pick one to Maxwell watch, it's gonna be Onward right now. But when he gets older,
no, I'm talking about CJ.
As I'm saying, if I personally, man, I can't. Like I said,
which one did you enjoy watching more? That's all. I'm trying.
Well, you gotta understand, it's also how you watch the movie, and I will say that Onward is probably the it was the first movie kind of posted about watching movies during 2020, where I just said I'm gonna just focus. It was like a nice gem for them to do for us, because it's supposed to go out to the theaters, and then end up they just released it because we got stuck at home. You know, I don't know if they planned that, whatever. No. But watching it, I enjoyed watching Onward more, the story more, the father, the brother story. You know, see, this is what I mean. Like, I can relate to both these movies exactly, because you have that journey of the brothers, and you know, you've seen it from the younger brother's point of view, but the older brothers are involved a lot, and and the love they have for their dad, and even the part that you're developing this wizard, he's turning into a grand wizard right in front of us, and his brother is the only support there that he has. And then at the point when it comes to being like, you get to meet dad for the first time, or you get to go and I let my brother go talk to father, because he had more time with him than I never got to meet him. So that, like, that aspect. But then also too, you got Soul, and it's the dude, you know, it's like you're going against your mother, and I'm always like, oh, how do you defeat your mother? Like, it's like, you know, how do you get back? Like, it's like my whole thing, like, don't tell my mom, please. You know, it's like you know, my mom would tell people, like, when I'd go hang out like in 3rd grade, 4th grade, she'd be like, oh, she'd come around and see people's, like, you know, like my friends, and their parents would be around. She'd be like, if you're gonna watch him, if he acts up, you can hit him. Like, they're like, oh, we're not gonna do that. No, you can hit the shit out of him if he does anything or breaks anything. I was like, oh, okay, thanks, mom. Like, I thought it was more terrifying that my mom
said
that.
It in front of you.
Yeah, yeah, like yeah, mom's not scared.
Maybe,
she's like,
maybe that was a tactic to be like.
I think now they're talking about it, I honestly think that's what it was, because I was like, okay, I won't break shit in the house.
Nobody, even if their parents give. I mean, you would have to now.
What are you laughing about there, sir? In your
I'm
head?
just laughing. I'm laughing in my head. I was like, if somebody gave me the permission to do that, I mean, it would have to be like pretty egregious. Like, oh my god, you just killed the cat. Like, and then that one maybe. But you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you broke something. You're a kid, man. Like, that's just gonna happen. Yeah, dude. I think that was more of a warning to you than it was an actual. Because what would happen if somebody?
I don't know. That's the crazy shit. That's what we're thinking about it, dude. It's like, because it's like a 90s. I'm a 90s kid. I was raised like this, you know, and you know, it's still going on now. It's not just 90s. I see it all everywhere. When I go to my friend's house, go to other people's houses, and you know, I see this shit. But what do you call it? No, but that is kind of funny. Like, hey, dude, your mom said I could beat your ass. Like, but I guess that's just kind of...
You're lucky she didn't come across any sadistic parents, you know.
That's true. But then they'd be cool, and I'd probably end up hanging out with them. But I don't know. It's like
they're like, all right, I can beat you.
Yeah, it's like but I think being a little bit taller
pissing me off.
I'm gonna take it out on you. Dukes up. I don't got no dukes. What are you talking about?
They'll never believe you.
I know. Right? Well, my mom, if I open the door and had a black eye, my mom would be like, what did you do? I'd be like, well, the guy just punched me for no reason. Yeah, right. I'd be like, no, he really did. You know, it's like, so the moral of this story, ladies and gentlemen, is do not do that. And I know, I mean, I wouldn't hit a kid either. If a parent came over to my house and said you could hit my kid, and my kid was expecting that, I'd be like, nah, dude, you're taking your kid. I'm not gonna. I don't need your kid at my house. He's gonna be breaking shit. Like, if it happens by accident, by all means. But you know,
it's not. I would be like, all right, cool, yeah, I'll hit him if I feel it's necessary. I'm not gonna deny a kid just because he breaks shit. I broke shit all the time, dude. I remember we had Christmas lights set up, and I had a new scooter that I got for Christmas, and I was like wheeling around, and I broke one light out of like a million of them, right? And they probably broke like 10 lights setting this son of a bitch up. But I was so scared that I was gonna get in trouble that I like hid this light, you know. And I was like, dude, I was like 10. I could have gone in and been like, oh, I'm so sorry, I broke the light, and they'd be like, why'd you do that? You know, maybe I don't know, but yeah,
I did something like that.
Stupid shit.
I did shit. I did. I mean, I did a lot of stupid shit, but you know, that's why I can relate to Beavis and Butthead. I feel for them as the way they, you know, the way they get through things. But I just want to bring up one thing, and then we'll move on to Idiocracy. Beavis and Butthead, you know, came from Mike Judd, and Mike Judd, I don't know if he's creative or he's just good at manipulating, or if I don't know what his talent is, but he's very talented storyteller. But when he did King of the Hill episode 1, I remember watching the premiere, because I watched the premieres of Simpsons. I watched the premiere of Family Guy. I watched the premiere of South Park, or no, I don't. No, I don't remember that. No, sorry. I saw the premiere of not Beast, but of Futurama and The Critic, and I saw the premiere of King of the Hill. So I always remember those first episodes, but none of those episodes. The one I love the most is the Futurama one, but the none of those episodes made me crack up like King of the Hill did. And it's just one simple joke. It was just one little thing that they did that I lost my shit, man. And I think it's just because I started realizing I was getting a little bit older. I caught the joke. It's so simple. It's like the stupid one from Scary Movie. I laughed like as hard as that when Billy goes, "Yeah, I thought you were dead." He goes, "Ketchup," like that. And then he goes, and I go, "Oh, that's so stupid. Like nobody uses ketchup as real blood." But even in Scream, he says corn syrup looks like the real thing. He just says ketchup, and it's like that's it. Well, this is that scene in King of the Hill got me originally with freaking. They start introducing all the characters as you're going to the show. They're going to show you. It's going to laying in like you're getting there, and about maybe I don't know around the 15-minute mark, 16-minute mark, you get to you meet Dale Gribble, but then in that mark you get to meet his family, and you meet Nancy. And then you meet Joseph Gribble, but you meet John Redcorn, and then you meet Joseph Gribble, and he looks like Joseph Gribble. And John Redcorn is like father and son, and then Dale and Joseph are the only two people that know that they're brother and sister. I mean that they're not father and son. And but there's that episode later on in King of the Hill where Dale goes, "I can't have you know how it would feel to have a complete idiot raise your son," and John Redcorn's like, "I know the feeling."
Like, that whole John Redcorn dynamic is hilarious, dude.
Dude, for not having, I know, just for him being like, he's just like, my wife has headaches. Go send her, like the husband, go send her John Redcorn. He'll give her those headaches. He's banging your wife.
No. Like, and everybody knows, like, that's the thing too. It's like Hank knows, like,
they have to play like
everybody.
Dude, that lost it. I remember like I forgot who I watched it with. There was quite a few of us watching it, and I don't even think it was just friends. I think it was like family members. I remember laughing so hard. They're like, "Why is he laughing so hard?" I was like, "Oh my god!" They actually showed the kid like he's brown. I was like, it's like it also shows like Dale's all weak and Joseph picks him up for he's all buff, he's all strong, but he's all dumb. That's a perfect segue to Idiocracy, because it doesn't matter that the DNA is John Redcorn. It's the mind of Dale Gribble. So John Redcorn is probably super smart compared to Dale Gribble, but Dale Gribble is around the kid all the time, so he becomes more idiotic. And now we're moving on to 2006 Idiocracy.
I'd like to debate whether John Redcorn. I don't know. Never mind.
What are you gonna say? What's the debate? Put it out there.
Nothing.
Throw it on there. Throw it on there.
No, I was just kind of shitting on John Redcorn for wanting to have a metal career so late in life, or just hanging on to that dream. But keep on hanging on, buddy.
Hey, man, I say do it. I say go for it.
At first I was like, yeah, you gotta probably drop that one, but it's not like he's massaging and people like that too. So
oh well, he's like he's getting laid every like 10 minutes. I'm pretty sure he likes that.
It's not because it's music, that's for damn sure.
But I mean, I like that they go there, man. I like that they actually do touch those topics, and they do. And King of the Hill goes a little bit more into their own characters in this universe that he's created. I mean, seriously, he's living in Austin and he's just writing King of the Hill episodes. I've been in Austin the same time. It's like I should have just like found a way to go. But you can't get mad at the past. But it's so cool. Like it's been here the whole time. So not to say that I'm going to work with him, but now we can create here, and that's cool because we know it's possible, because this is where a lot of the Can you hear me? Okay.
No. I heard something like in my background, and I was like, "What is that?" And then I figured it out real fast.
No, but like what I'm saying is, definitely like it's cool that I know that the soil here can grow creativity, so I will stay here.
If we're being real, I mean, I was probably going to grow a whole lot more. You got Joe Rogan down there now.
I'll tell you. No, that's creativity. I said creativity. I didn't say technology. We have technology here, and if anything, we learned about Idiocracy. Technology makes us dumber, not smarter. It does not make us smart. It does not. No, dude. Anything. I gotta start off with this. We think scientists are smart, but movies show me anything that scientists are just the first person to, well, like Jay from Jay and Silent Bob, they say, be the first person to find an alien and do it. So it's like that's kind of like a lot of movies are like, scientists are just creative people with numbers, and they're just willing to put themselves. I think about Prometheus, and that snake pops out, that alien snake, and that guy's like, whoa, he gets closer to it. I'm like, damn scientists, dumb, some of the biggest dumbasses out there. It's like that thing has teeth, like he goes and then like, and the way it kills him too. So sorry, that was my rant.
But, no. I agree. I agree to an extent. I think there are cautious scientists. I don't think they're all stupid.
I do like it. I like it they're in a Deep Blue Sea when he goes, who's the man in charge? He's like, and then Samuel L. Jackson tells the actress, and she goes, that guy, the guy pissing in the wind is the guy in charge. It's like he's peeing, but he's getting on him. like that's the guy. That's like such a, to me, that moment sticks out. This opening scene in it. What's up?
Sorry, it just, whenever you said that, it reminded me of whenever they're introducing all the secretaries in Idiocracy. You get to the Secretary of Education, he's like,
the face. But it's I love the opening, the opening scene. It's the whole movie right there. That opening scene is the whole movie. And after the opening scene, when you get to the Joe character played by Luke Wilson, once you get there, then that's the movie.
Repeat offender.
Repeat. We do have quite a repeat offenders in this movie.
Yeah.
And I'll say this with even the whole the too smart people wait and the stock market crash, so that they make everything around them affects them, where the dumb people are just whatever. But they capture this whole I don't think, what is it, 10 minutes long, 8 minutes long?
What is it? The whole reason that everybody gets laid off is the computer did that auto layoff thing, and now we don't have any jobs. Like you said, technology making you stupid and relying on big ass corporations. How is it that the CEO of Brondo can't even, you know what I'm saying?
Well, no, they're dubbed down that much that the technology does more of the work. So you don't have to do it, and you don't have to. And if the technology fixes itself, then you're just wandering around. And that would be a good movie to watch. There's probably something out there like that. But the thing I like about what I'm saying, I'm also saying technology is good. I'm talking to you right now. I'm for it. I'm just saying that when we talk about people in the future is gonna, I'm like, dude, we can't even I still believe in our lifetime, when I get to be hopefully I'll get to be 80, 90 years old. I still don't think I'll see a flying car. I think maybe we'll get pretty close. Maybe to there will be no flying car.
Why do we need a flying car? We already have accidents on the road.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if we're in the air?
Dude,
and airplanes? Nah.
Dude, we can't even fly drones, man. You know what I'm saying? It's the beginning. It's trying to make airspace. Before you know it, people are going to be selling real estate air. You can't fly over my house unless you have my real estate.
I just it's interesting to kind of wonder where they got the whole hover car and everything idea from, because this probably is one of the only futuristic movies that has everything, pretty much the same, except you have a lot stupider people. The thing
I think this movie barely missed out on, and it's one of the things that I don't know if would have made a difference in this movie, because I noticed that Frito Pendejo, played by Dax Shepard, it's a dumbass Frito in Spanish, or it was his name, so it's actually Frito's dumbass. But what do you call it? The GPS. There's no GPS. And that's everywhere now. Cell phones. We listen to where the phone tells us. Where do we go? I like that they just barely missed it. Are you watching Idiocracy right now? Because I'm
I'm finishing up. Yeah,
I'm at the part with
part. What I thought was funny is how the years progress. Whenever it's and we went centuries without, and so it goes 2,100, 2,200, and it has the zeros, and then it gets to 2,500, and then 5 years later, it goes to 2,000. Just something really kind of small and stupid. But
you do it didn't just stop on the 1,000. It went to the 5 more years after that.
Yeah.
I guess he got specific with it. I do like the whole. I was watching this movie. I owned it. It cracked me up. I own this one physically and digitally. And the thing about this movie, the whole Collins, he becomes the guy that becomes upgrades. He has the way you have to get into.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that because of the movie's sake of the time, he can't talk about the whole hanging out upgrade. That's why he has all those slides. So he goes, get on with it. But he has a whole presentation there of how he has to go through it. But we just see the pictures, so it's funny to us. We're just looking at the pictures. And for the movie's sake, you don't get it. But that's a big logical part of this movie. He starts to become a pimp because he starts being more like them. And then that's what happens. Now, having Upgrade in this movie really cracks me up because he is a force to reckon with, but he's just talked about the whole time. At the end of the movie, remember spoilers, he comes out because you always want to see. So I'm thinking you can actually make a sequel to Idiocracy because Upgrade is now in it, and he's not. He's a hustler. Imagine Upgrade in that future. He'd take over.
He'd take over some people.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about like he'd take over like a whole lot. Like he would you know, one thing I got from Joe's or not Shore's character at the end when he was a president, he wasn't the smartest guy, but he was inspiring. He was very motivational. He was very like, you know, he was like he started changing his attitude.
No, he was the smartest guy at that point. Honestly, like I mean,
no, I'm talking about in general, in life, and just in general. Like he wasn't the smartest guy, like from our view. Oh, and he's over there now. He doesn't know everything, but he knows that he's motivating there, and he's like.
Question: the narrator at the beginning of Idiocracy, do you think that's the same one as the guy from Basketball?
Sounds. I was thinking that. I never got to trivia. Whatever. Let's see. I was thinking that there's a narrator in here.
Let's see here. Probably.
Let's see. Well, as we do have other characters that are in this movie that we have another repeat offender in Justin Long.
Yeah,
he's back. He's back again. Thank you, Justin, for hanging out with us. You know, David Herman, he's a first-time guy on this show. He's from Mad TV. You know, I remember him from Phil LaMarr and him from Mad TV, Artie Lang. And then he did a lot of voice acting. So he was in Office Space. He's Michael Bolton. He was also he was with Futurama's whole run. You know, I like this character. It's brought to you by Carl's Jr. He's part of Bob's Burgers. Let's see.
Who was that now?
David Herman.
Oh, David Herman. Yeah.
He doesn't really act too much, but in the front of the camera, but he does a lot of voiceover. And he's been busy, dude. He's got a lot of work. He's busy. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think he lives here or no in Austin. I don't know. I think maybe a long time ago I heard something, but maybe not. He's born. He's from New York. Let's see.
I'm looking it up right now.
Oh, he's getting there. He's gonna find it. Maya Rudolph, SNL alum. She's in this. I think they picked a great character for her. She did the character, she did a good role. She was perfect in this movie. You know, she is from SNL, but she's also has Bridesmaid, Away We Go, The Way Back, and Inherent Vice.
She's been in a lot of good movies. Maya Rudolph has for sure. I enjoy her. Bridesmaids, man, that's hilarious.
Oh, dude, that movie's hilarious.
It's not the same narrator.
Not.
No,
dude, Bridesmaid is hilarious. That movie.
Yeah.
You know, even Thomas Hayden Church has a Brando CEO. He has a little cameo in this movie.
Yeah.
Greg Pitts, there he is, the cameraman you're talking about. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
There are a few people that I do, and I don't really recognize their.
You know, I thought that was always at the beginning. I went ahead and turned on Idiocracy. I always thought that was Shia LaBeouf that was going to come and replace him. That kid looked really, you know, that was going to replace Joe. Whenever that guy comes down, he's like, "Oh, you're."
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, the guy that's standing behind him kind of looks like
Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf.
Running through the winds, it's Shia LaBeouf. Oh, he isn't dead. Shia surprise. Have you seen that?
No, I have not.
Oh, I'll send that to you.
So this movie, I know, was filmed in Austin.
Idiocracy?
Yeah. Oh. But also was filmed. It says the filming. Yeah, so it's filmed in Pflugerville, Austin. Because there were, I didn't catch any of the auditions or anything, but I do know that the dude, that big guy, like, you want us to go family style on her? You know, the little brown guy that's with him. I know him. I don't know. I don't know him, but I used to go and run into him once in a while. He was very serious back then about acting, but I don't know how far he got into it. But he was very, very serious. I liked watching him, learning something from him. Yeah, Round Rock, Pflugerville, Travis County Expo Center. There's a lot of green screen in this movie too.
Yeah,
I think it's basically made here. Yeah, and you saw in San Marcos too. They used the Gary Golf Course Center. Oh, that's cool. So that's where they did a lot of that. I guess that's where they did the grassing or the fields.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Let's see. I mean, this movie. I mean, for this is what my buddies like to call. They say this is the first comedy that turned into a documentary.
Yeah, that's honestly.
Welcome to Costco's. I love you.
Yeah.
But even the one thing I caught, there's so much. There's a lot of depth to this movie too. So when this movie came out, I was in college. I was living in San Marcos. I was going to Texas State, and I got a bad review from a bunch of frat guys. They all went to go watch this movie during the day. Yeah,
I wonder why.
Yeah, the only thing they came out with was they said that movie sucked, man. Because they went like at like the first showing, they went like at 11 o'clock, and they were back by like 2 or 3. Because I remember we did something that night, like we started barbecuing at 6 or something. I forgot, but I remember they were back, and but they were like, "Oh, that movie sucked." There's only one funny part in it. I was like, "Well, what part?" And he goes, "Yeah, it sticks out." I was like, "Oh, my balls part," and I was like, "Okay." And then I watched it on that Sunday, and I was like, "This is funny." Like this is like, and if you get offended by this movie, it might be you might be a little too close to the source material. I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying you might be. You know, I like to watch stuff like that, and if I see something I do in there, I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do that, or oh, I don't care. You know, they're making fun of me, but it's just sometimes it does. There's a lot of stuff I watch. It hits hard. It hits hard. It hits close to home, and I get to the point where I'm like, oh well, shit, that's who I am. You know, but this movie definitely has a lot of that in it, where I was just laughing. But when they said that about that, it was all my balls part. I was like, well, that's the only part you get, and that's what you're the guy that's like, I'm gonna all y'all
go away, I'm baiting.
Go, you know? even baiting, they've like taken away the pleasure of that, and it's just like you just say that just so people leave you alone, but he's not even doing it. Like he's just watching. I mean, he's watching his form of baiting, which is a girl cut a Salisbury steak with her toes. Like like that was his form of porn at that point because he's so burnt out on porn. Damn, I even see I even have the photos. Even you just pick the photos, the freaking guy of the buff people that are doing the news. Like
yeah,
they're like they don't
Fox News.
If you don't
did you hear their voices every once in a while? Like it has like that
big ass fries.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't smoke Charleston's, F you. Like that's funny. Like these shirt
I thought Justin are those joints that they're selling?
I think they're smoking. Yeah.
Are they? But it's weed. You don't think it's tobacco?
Nah, I went in watching it the first time. Tobacco. Now I'm thinking it's weed.
Well, the whole scene with Justin Long kind of makes me think it's weed. And it looks like a pre-rolled, you know,
well,
like one of those big ass.
Well, because
it also has the filter on it. That's why I didn't notice the filter on it on Justin Long's the first time.
Well, because I'm kind of like, yeah. So he's gonna just send me money. His character, like that's how some people talk. I always crack. I mean, I think I don't know how old I was, but I was like in my 30s, in my early 30s, and I was waiting tables, and we had a conversation with like a busser at work, and he answered like that, and we were like, dude, we're not an idiocracy, and he was like, what? No, like something like, what are you up to? Where you from, or something? He was like, yeah. We're like, no, dude, seriously, like we're trying to have a conversation, like, he didn't know how to have it. We're like, what? I do like the Collins guy. He puts the gold tooth in his army officer busted in attempt prostitution ring, corporation, pornography, drugs, and pimping at the highest levels in a 2-month sting operation at a classified army base here in state. And there's a difference between a pimp's love. Get on with it. He's like, oh, okay. Like he really wants to give him that source. I feel like if he would have told him that, they would have not done the project. But that part that he skips, they skip it, and he had a whole because he's upset. He really wants to talk about it. Like he wants to show, look, guys, look what I did. And I think because they did that, it deprived him. Now he just went. He kept hanging out with Upgrade.
Yeah,
they have a whole article here. I don't know if you want me to read it out loud, but it's funny that on this Collins.
Dude, I like the one with Upgrade where it's like he'll get a double dose of sentence. Yeah, 2 Ds for the and dude when in the subtitles too, they have 2 Ds every time.
Oh yes, that's what you're talking about. Let our listeners out there know that you're talking about how they the
subtitles, man, especially in a movie like this, is very I wouldn't say essential, but it helps kind of with the comedy because they say things that sound right but aren't, like instead of saying the national anthem, they say the natural anthem. So it's almost like, those Facebook posts where you see, oh, I'm lactose and toddler ants, And it's just like yeah, it kind of proves this movie right just a little bit. Like, but to be fair, a lot of those people, they've heard the word, they've never read it. So yeah, I guess you can kind of, well, a lot of people say like with you, for example, the butcher, right? With our with you've read the word, but you've just never heard it pronounced. So you're doing your idea of what the word should sound like, right? Whereas these people are it's the opposite. They've heard the word, but they
But
don't
never
read
read
it. So you know, they don't get that phonetical thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
There is a difference.
Yeah, dude, thank you for you're totally backing me up on this episode. I'm like my vernacular and my enunciation. No, it makes a lot of sense.
It's almost
Right?
like it's almost like a slap in the face, but it's a backhanded slap in the face.
It's a nice compliment. I'll take that. No, it is, but there's a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people. I could have easily been a kid that just watched TV all day and kind of like, maybe not graduate high school, get a GED. I'm putting people GEDs down, but just saying like just something like that where I couldn't graduate high school, and maybe I could have seen myself like that, or maybe just keep struggling. But it was a point where I was amongst I like the fact that everybody in this movie is like almost brown, like because we all have like the same color.
Yeah.
And I do like the fact that once I was amongst the, being like my environment or just the people I was around, I was like, I want to figure out how to move around and not be stuck. And movies helped me out a lot. And then just learning, I don't know, I hold myself to my standards, and I like the way to live the way I like to live. And
well, and the thing too, man, is like even kind of getting back to that point, like in today's day and age, like so a lot of that messing up words and stuff you see posted on Facebook, and then it's turned into memes and shit like that. But if you're posting shit on Facebook, then you obviously have a computer of some sort. So you're able to look these words up. It's not like the information's not out there.
Okay,
it's just a lack of.
But what did I say about technology, brother? Taking that all the projected stuff. Yeah, I hit A and it's already thinking, oh, there's Apple right there. I don't have to spell it. I already know. I know it's this. That's why it's good to, like, I don't want to get preachery, but it's good to like write with your hands and use your fingers and have your brain work out. But I don't want to talk about that because that's preachery. I'm not trying to preach here. I'm trying to talk about this movie.
You know but you're right. Finger to use is. Sorry.
Do it. Which this comes out a lot. Which I thought.
Craig, did you just flip me off? No. Craig.
One thing I love about the flipping off, that's a very, I don't know. I come up from I'm from the upbringings of taking a photo and someone flips you off, like, it's just like, but I see it as that wrestling mindset, and they at the end you see the Joe finally gives in and he's doing two fingers in the air, like he's got to speak their language too, he can't just like you
sound all faggy and stuff.
He could understand them, but they could not understand him. Dude, that's a funny one.
Get out of here. Those dudes are like, beefing up to him. It's hilarious, man. And it's totally true. Like, you see that shit today, too. Like, it's not something that's abnormal. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Dude, I just like when I would go back to the border and people would be like, "What are you talking to me like that?" Like what? Using the damn, and I didn't realize that you do, because some people use words to make it seem like I'm smarter than you. And you're more inferior. You're less inferior than me. I'm more superior than you are because I have this this dialogue where I know how to speak. My vocabulary is more, and it's like I'm putting it. Some people like take that as offense. I found that out firsthand once I figured out. I was like, but then I use it to my advantage. I start creatively telling people off without having to use. Like, you get to that point where someone's like, "Wait a minute, did that guy just tell me F you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but by that point I'm already gone, so I don't care."
I know, man. I love having those little jokes with myself, especially when I'm talking to somebody that's, I don't necessarily want to be talking to.
Oh, yes.
And then you just, okay, yeah, cool. Yeah. Yeah, man, I tried to kind of look at the brands and everything that they had, but dude, I just got so lost into the story again. It's just hard to kind of pick up on.
Yeah.
Like there's one that's like Flatterin or something like that. It's like a paste.
I mean,
it looks like mayonnaise whenever he's eating it.
And the whole Starbucks is like now like a brothel or something.
H&R Block, and there's another one too.
They're just brands.
Buttfuckers is probably the best one.
Because it starts off with Fuddrucker, or no, not Fuddrucker. Something.
No, it starts.
No, and when there's the future side of something, and then they switch the name to I guess the buttfuckers. The very like right when the pimping gets caught. I mean, Collins gets caught, and they knock down the building, and they put future side of something. But
well, and that's funny too, because like Fuddruckers is one of those where you can, if you switch them, you get Rudfuckers, and so there's just that. Also, man, this movie is almost like a compilation of like a lot of jokes too that you've heard throughout the years, like with whenever he goes to the doctor and they give him all these, all right, this one goes in your ear, this one goes in your mouth, and and so I thought that was I think that's kind of funny too, is like you have all these not necessarily stupid jokes, but jokes that have been around for a long time, but then you can get another use out of them, because you can actually do it in a movie, because these people are so stupid, like, oh, this could actually happen. And I think that joke is like an army joke too, like doing a thermometer and stuff like that. So yeah, man, even this chick that's like helping him at the hospital, I mean, she's just listening to him and just like trying to figure out what's wrong with him, and have one for the baby coming out, like, dude, it's just
I just think it's funny too when he's in court and his own lawyer turns on him. Like, but even the other guy,
I object.
And like he just likes the. Actually, I think Dak actually does a good job as playing that, because man, he got famous off of Punk'd, MTV Punk'd with
Without a Paddle.
No, he first started off with on MTV. With MTV Punk'd with ¿cómo se llama? I have his head in my head. Ashton Kutcher.
Oh, okay.
That guy. He had that show Punk'd, and that's when we got introduced to Dax. Well, I don't know if I got introduced to him, but that's when he really popped out, and they started getting roles after that. And he does do a good job, because he's going through the motion of an attorney, but he's not being an attorney. He's just going through the motions, like, oh, God. And that's so. But it gets the crowd riled up, and that's what these are. These are a bunch of animals. These people. So when on the podcast, when Mark Maron asked Mike Judge, like, how did you come up with that concept? He said he started reading a bunch of books about the future, and then he and then they started incorporating things and making fun of it, seeing where you're going, and what if you're going on a decline? And it tells you in the beginning of this movie, we thought we were going to be in the future, but we're actually in a decline. But because even the other lawyer, the defendant, or the prosecutor, he tells him, oh no, it's the other lawyer. He goes, what does he say? He says, first of all, Your Honor, just look at him. Like, you don't start off like your trial like that. Like, just look at him. Like,
no, but what's crazy is, like, okay, so you kind of hear a little bit of how people talk in the future before you get to that trial. Even Frito's character sounds like an idiot, but the prosecutor, he's like suave and smooth, and he says a lot of dumb shit, but he doesn't sound like it. He's like, does that make sense?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Like,
that's what I'm saying.
He's almost like, obviously, like he would be like a higher tier of dumb people.
No, I don't see there. I think they're all the same intelligence. I think the issue is the guy's actually playing the role. Like, he's not saying anything that has anything to do with law, but the way he sells himself, it's like theater.
But law has become that. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think these are the intelligent people, because they obviously.
I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
At that level, but
because law has become like a show. You have the courtroom, you have the judge over there looking like Wolverine and shit, and then just like he's standing up with the gavel and just like, and then laughing at goofy shit. Like,
dude. And he also very Southern too. Very Southern. Stephen Root has got that. And he gets that long drawn there.
He does, man. But even Justin Long's character, I mean, he has to be smart on some level, and they still have a level of smartness, because he was like, oh, my first wife, she was tarded. And like all this other stuff.
I see it more being a con artist. Who's a better con artist?
And dude, how could you be a con artist if you're stupid?
Dude, some of the biggest con artists are stupid. Dude, the people that live off the government, you think they're some of the people that know how to like flip money, how to flip food stamps into real cash? You're not really bright. I mean, not really dumb, but you're not really like there's a certain code there. What I'm trying to say, pick at.
Yeah, but work in the system. I mean, that's a different level. Like, you know what
But I'm saying,
There's
but I'm saying the system now is it's kind of broad now. Like now, it's not the actual smartest person is going to get the job. It's the one that looks the smartest is going to get the job. That's where I'm coming. That's my angle.
none of
That
these
who
motherfuckers look smart.
no, but for them, like who you said you even said he looks smooth. I think he looks like an idiot. But
Yeah,
you,
no, but I'm
but out
saying
of the
just like the
out of
way the way he is talking, he's not so with Frito, he's over here, go away, I'm baiting. Like he's grunting and and they even say that like it's become Valley Girl, Hillbilly, and a series of grunts, right? So you have to assume that though, and I think there was another one that I missed, but those ways of talking are going to determine your level of intellect. If you're just grunting all the time, you're going to be an idiot.
I get what you're saying. So there's a hierarchy
there has to be a hierarchy because they have an aptitude test. They have to know if somebody's smarter or not. You know, whether they however long it takes them.
Let's ask this: is it someone from that time frame that did that, or is it the computers looking for somebody, or is it somebody from the past that they're just looking? You know, like in WALL-E, they just keep looking for that like vegetation, and finally when they do it, it triggers it. Like that's somebody premeditated all that. So I'm like wondering, that's a good point. Like, is he
also what age? Because it looks like these are older people going in and doing the aptitude test. Like, well, why haven't they already done it? Like, why? It seems as though before you get your tattoo, you have to do this stuff. So do these people not have a tattoo? How have they been surviving?
No, he has a tattoo on his hand there. The guy's trying to put the block, so he has it. So I guess no, I think you know what it is. I think these people are probably stuck in a loop. They just can't pass. Like they're just stuck there.
You think they're just coming back and doing the aptitude test until they can get it? Because does he get the tattoo before or after the aptitude test?
He gets the tattoo first.
Oh, was it first? Okay. All right.
First.
Cool.
But you know what, man? I think, honestly, just what's going on with this conversation, I think you're giving him way too much credit. I'm trying to keep him pretty low, but I think you're right. There's layers to this.
Dude, I mean, whenever you have a movie about idiots, there has to be something. There's.
But I think like you're.
Have you ever seen The Stupids?
Yeah. I'm our own grandpa. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that one, Tom Arnold, man. But this one is different. You know, it's a commentary on us now and what we could potentially be, and like I said, there's not a single person in here that I haven't seen in life today.
Yeah, they're there.
In all honesty, like in some way, shape, or form. And thank you, retail, for helping me with that. I appreciate it. You know, I had an argument with a lady about whether a prime rib was a rib roast or not. She's like, it's not a rib roast. Okay. Yeah, you want prime rib, but you don't want it to be a ribeye. Great. How can we help you today, man?
Oh, dude, let me show you. This is how you do it. You go, you what? You're right, ma'am. And at $32 a pound, I'm gonna get you 3 pounds. It's like
no. Like she said, I'm from up north. I never had a problem with this. It's like, yeah, they probably quit arguing with the dumbass and just charged you extra.
Hey, that's
like exactly what you just said. So I was talking to her. I was like, here, you know, I tried to explain it to her a couple times. Like, there's another guy, one of the butchers, and I was like, here, you try to explain this to her. And he was kind of getting a little heated with her because he, like I said, he's a butcher. He knows everything about this, and you know nothing. Obviously, it's just,
dude. Maybe she's just working you, man. There's like that story you just told me reminded me of like when my friend was the manager at the cafe, and this lady came in for lunch and always complained about. And I go, that's her thing. That's her thing. She's gonna complain. Like she's not. Like that's her thing. And she's like, no, I'm going to get her. And she got to the point where like, she had this, like, she always wanted the salmon and it had to be cooked at this temperature. And she's like, look, it's not cooked. When it comes to the table, like my manager friend, she got a thermometer and went, look at the table. Like, I'm like, look at all what you're doing. Like just to get and then you find out, then she's like, okay. And she didn't complain for like a week or two. And she's like, I told her, I got her complaining, but then she just started complaining again. And that's her.
She'll find something else.
Find something. So just if you want to play that game, go for it. But it's a good game to play, and you learn a lot about customer service, and then you learn not to like give into it when you get to a certain point. But
well, dude, I had a lady the other day, like she was in a little scooter, right? And I honest to God did not see her because we were behind a counter, and there's like a little like it's hard to see. hell, there's a pole in the middle, and sometimes I can't see a person standing right here because the pole's blocking you, right? And so we're helping people, da 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 da. And then I'm like, oh, hey, how can we help you, ma'am? And she was like, she just went into it, man. She was like, you're helping all these other people, blah, da, 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 da. And I always get the best customer service, blah, da, da. And I was like, all right, cool. And I just had that mentality. Like I had already had a couple days that were pretty rough. So I was just like, okay. And I just let her go. And then I was just like, all right, and I was about to be like, what can we do for you? After she was already upset. And then she just like wheeled away and I couldn't help her. And dude, it just like, I don't know, man. Like, hey, I'm not older. I don't have their brain. Things fire differently once you get older. But I hope to God I never get like that to where I think somebody is deliberately, you know what I'm saying? Like, unless it's obvious, like if it's obvious.
No, it happens with age. I've already started doing this. You just start. I actually did something this morning that I could have sworn it was someone else's did it to me, but it was totally me. I totally screwed myself over. I was like, I dropped something. I was like, who put that there? And I was like, why did I put that there? Damn it. That's my fault. But it's like it just happens as you get older, man. No, I get you. When you get to that old, maybe you'll get to the point where you can like joke around about it, and then you're like, hey, I used to be back there, but it's different. I don't know, man. Like I used to deal with like older people all the time at the bank. When I worked at the bank, that was just insane, man. They'd be like, you stealing my money. I'm like, no, ma'am, it's pending transaction. Like, no, I know you. Like they were like thinking that I personally was taking their money. And I was like, why you got to do this every other day? You come in here. I tell you, it's not in here like till the third day. You came in Monday. It's not available till Wednesday. You came in on Tuesday. I told you it's not gonna be available till Wednesday. And then I tell you got to be in here and it's available. And then, it actually doesn't clear till Thursday morning. So, and she's just like, why am I waiting? Give me my money now. Well, then you give me my money. And then when my money's available, you take it out of my account. And I was like, no, that's not how it works. Like, it was just, but I was just kind of like, all right, whatever. What else I can't do anything. Like, what else you got? What else you got at me? Come on. Like, it just works like that. I saw the part right here where he runs out of jail by saying like, they gotta let me out. I was like, you're not in here. Look at those paperwork. And he runs. And then the guns he says something in technology. Even the guns shoot each other. Even
were they controlled by somebody though?
Motion, maybe motion detection. I don't know. I'm saying that all the products and the quality going to be good. No, you're ordering your burger.
Look at the vacuum. That's just now your floor is clean. Now your floor that floor was disgusting.
But the floor where it was going over was clean, but it just got stuck in the loop. I do like the whole prostitution thing. Like I'm gonna give it to you. Like yeah, she didn't put out. There's a law against that. Like you gotta put out.
We can get her a whoring license. Hey, do you think we can go family style on her?
No, we're not. Yeah, that guy's from he's a what do you call it, from Harold and Kumar, Guantanamo Bay. He's the big Bob.
Oh, is that cock meat sandwich?
Yeah, it's cock meat sandwich.
There you go.
He's been in quite a few movies. I think he's an Austin guy. He's been in a lot of the local stuff, or I would call it local, but they don't ever let us know about it. But then again, I'm not actually out there auditioning, so I can't say anything. I like that part. I also have there's a screenshot or on the IMDb where it shows the family tree. Clevon Jr.
Clevon, yeah.
Clevon. And then it's like I'm looking at
y'all tonight.
I'm looking at all the women. It's like the father and the son. They did it to where it has like a pattern there. There's like a pattern here, and that the dad and the son are very similar in their selection. But man, the dad had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the son had 1, 2, 3, 4. So I had 5 kids. The dad 10 kids. But that's also a lot of football drama.
That is, but as crazy as it sounds, dude, like I'm a frequent viewer of Judge Mathis. And the other day there was a case. These 2 sisters came in and said, "Yeah, I'm one of 22, and she's a little bit further on down the line. We have the same dad. I think they had different. I think they had different moms."
Okay.
But like 22 kids.
Let me tell you this. I was trying not to tell you this, but I practiced a speech before we did this episode. I'm always thankful for every day that I live, because anywhere else I don't think I'd exist, because my family tree is more of a bush. Because my grandpa had 3 wives, so I'm at the end of it, of the like one generation. Like there's now younger generations, and clearly I have a son, so there's another generation. But my generation, I'm at the very tail end. So I was raised in like older school, and Yeah, my dad was raised where his uncles, I mean, his uncles were like 10 years younger than him, or vice versa, where he was an uncle and he was like 10, 12 years older like, than his nephew, stuff like that. And
Mhm.
yeah, so I'm from one of those family. My mom too, but there's seven. So it's like, I was always raised around a lot of, even thinking the way my son's being raised is not going to be anywhere remotely close to the way, I mean, close to what I bring him to, but like the way I naturally was raised, like
Yeah.
there's just no ways. There's no way. I had to have started when I was like 18, and I had to have had like kids and be around my cousins with because I don't only it's only my brother and I at the time, so it's like
Yeah.
crazy like to do all that, to repeat that would be so hard. To
Yeah.
have like, I mean, it's cool to be raised around a lot of family members at my grandma's house, but to like do that again in my it's impossible, man. Like
Yeah.
it's a
I
lot of
feel you,
kids,
man.
dude.
Like, man, I know my mom and her sisters were real close to their cousins, and I just never had a real like. I mean, I hung out with my cousins for sure, and hell, I even lived with my aunt and my cousin for like a year or two whenever we were way younger. But like, it wasn't just like, oh yeah, this my cousin's coming over today, or we never lived like down the street or real close to each other. It was always like 2 or 3 hours away, kind of thing. And yeah, I just never really had that growing up, like that extended family.
Yeah.
Um, and even yeah, man. My grandparents were way older whenever I was born. Like I think my mom's dad passed away like a couple weeks after I was born, and then
Okay.
my granny though. I mean, she lived to 90. Um, but yeah, dude, I just never really had like that traditional like I did and I didn't. It's kind of weird. Like
Oh no, no.
nobody has a traditional
Well,
really kind of family. You
no, I
know what
think
I'm
you
saying?
do. You just I have a traditional Latino family, so that's
No.
very Hispanic. The Mexican thing, I think, plays a big part because when I have this conversation with other non-Latinos, they'll be like, "Yo, my grandma, she lives over here," and like, "Oh, we don't know what that is about." Like, what do you mean? Like, we a group of friends be together, and I'd be like, "Well, our grandmas live with us, so
Yeah.
we don't go visit grandma." You know,
Yeah.
so I was like, okay, but like stuff like that's just cultural differences too. But being raised in like a really big family, I guess I was kind of like the different one in a way, but I don't know. Like I have those cousins that are like awkward or try to be like artsy too, and
Well,
I
here's a
pull them
question.
into it.
Your cousins, I mean, did they all have kids before you?
Majority of them, yeah, majority of them did,
Majority of
and
them?
a lot of them right now don't, but
Yeah.
majority of them do.
Because I mean, like I said, even my brothers and sisters. I mean, uh, nobody really had kids like crazy early.
No, I
Like
got
my my oldest brother, he had two kids, but I mean, I was 11, so he was like 20, or no, he had been like 30 whenever he
yeah,
had his first kids. And then my stepbrother, I mean, it was about the same for him too. They were a little bit older and you know, uh, gone through some stuff where they actually settled down and had kids and stuff like that, and I mean, they were fairly well off. Um, hell, man, yeah, it's just I don't know. And then I had friends growing up that would have kids. I have numerous friends. Like, dude, going through Facebook this morning, like after Easter, like I just saw every other
oh
picture was a family with a little baby and stuff like that, and it was just kind of crazy, man. Because a lot of these people I knew, they were like younger than me, and not by a whole lot, maybe like 2 or 3
yeah,
years, but still, like it's just
already yeah,
like,
it throws you off. Oh, what
yeah,
up with these?
it's yeah, man, it's just like wow. And then even that, dude, like you said, just how time passes. Like I had a buddy of mine who his sister was our FFA teacher, and she had two little kids whenever I was in high school, and they're about to graduate high school. Like it just blows my mind, man. And
Yeah.
then, I see another one of my friends, his younger brother is about to have a kid. Like, and I knew him whenever he was, 10 years
Dude, yeah,
old.
one of my
But I didn't have a relationship from 10 until like I just saw the picture. You know what I'm saying? So it's you I guess it's easier to be astounded when you don't see that progression, you know?
Well, yeah, because if you
where
see
you
somebody,
don't see people growing up.
if you see somebody all the time, they're just, you see the same face, and you don't see them for a week, and you see them again, you're like, oh, you look a little different. It's just you just see them all the
Yeah.
time, and you haven't seen them for. But you go the opposite, where it's been 10 years. Like, man, there's some friends I haven't seen in 10 years, and I'm like, holy crap. And then I'm like, hey, what's going on? They're like, oh, hey. And I'm like, it's a weird thing. Like usually with social media, you can kind of keep up a little bit. I mean, you can a lot, but you can keep up with everybody as much as you want. But I like one of my buddies, him and his wife are about to have their third kid, and he's like, oh damn, like, life's gotten serious. Like, you have kids now. Like you can't just. I mean, I feel he's got 3, and with 1, I feel like I'm still like freaking out. Like, oh, where's he at? What's he going? What's going on? But with 3, I'd be like, like I don't know. But, it's I mean, to each their own. He probably has the strength to do that. I don't. I mean, let's say I'm not there, so I don't know if I do. But with that, and then seeing like all those kids, like even at the end, Frito, like Rita and
he has
still
like
have 3 kids, 32
yeah.
kids, dude. Like, and then he's just there, like I don't know. I mean, that's a lot of our natural instincts are just to go and reprocreate. If you think about it, we're just here to reprocreate. Like, that's all I think, honestly. Like when we talked about religion earlier, it's just like, people do have a connection with that. And I honestly think we're just conscious of the right now. Mm-hmm. We're just animals. We're just conscious of we're aware of the right now, where I think it was Joe Rogan had mentioned this. I don't know, but he said that we're monkeys that got into mushrooms and we opened up our third eye. I like that. I like that evolution. That's how evolution started for us. I like that. But even like the secretary, the chick that plays the girl, she's like sucking her finger, like she doesn't know how to. Like, you can't turn it off. Like, it's like, it's just like, it's weird. Like
she's attracted to his intelligence. Even
it's true.
I think that's what it is.
That's
it's
true.
Like, oh, he, which is strange because like, and maybe you even see that turn of like the evolutionary, intelligence, where you have well, obviously, I mean, because I feel like everybody that was in that position was smart, comparatively.
What's that? The brother-in-law?
Yeah, the stepbrother, and then that one kid who won it.
He won it.
Want to play? Yeah. But so she has to be relatively smart, so maybe that does kind of attract something that she is attracted to, but that can't be the case for everybody.
Yeah, the actress is Sarah Rue.
I've seen. Yeah, she's been in a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff, man.
Dude, we have been. Yeah, time is slowly slipping away from us.
It's already 2 hours. Look at that.
So
I've been looking on my phone just to make sure, because I started kind of late, so I was like, all right, let's see where we're at, and I remember we started right at 10.
Because I gotta go here in like 15.
Let's go. Yeah, you're right. Let's just see something real quick, dude. See, this is the thing that sucks about the box office for Idiocracy. 2 to 4 million budget, but the box office is $495,303. They hid this movie.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't market it.
I don't know.
I watched this movie because it was a Mike Judge movie, and then Luke Wilson and then was attached. So I was like, all right, well, I'm just gonna watch Mike Judge. But I feel like by that point I already seen a lot of his work. It would be hard to kind of catch somebody.
Extract was promoted more than this movie. I remember whenever Extract was coming out, it's a Mike Judge film.
You're right. I rarely remember Extract like being talked about, because I watched Extract at the Dollar Theater or something like that. I didn't see it at the real theater.
Let's see. Okay. The film was not screened for critics, and the distributor, 20th Century Fox, was accused of abandoning it. Despite its lack of a major theatrical release, that resulted in a mere 500,000 gross the positive reviews from critics, has become a cult film. It really has. Let's see here. Box office.
I just want to talk about real quick. Go for it.
No. Oh, talk. I'm going to read.
I was just going to say, we forgot to just mention about Terry Crews as President Dwayne Elizondo, Mountain Dew, Herbert Camacho. Come on, give him a round of applause. He kills that role, dude. He was like meant for that role. Like, he's like,
brought to you by Carl's Jr.
Why do you say that?
I get paid who's listening to him?
The cameras, bro. They're everywhere. Not in this era. Not this time. It wasn't around yet, but no. I get paid every time I say that. No, I'm saying maybe he's that dumb that they got him convinced that every time he says it, he gets paid. Maybe he does. I don't know. All right, so we're doing ratings here, and we're gonna rate Beavis and Butthead Do America. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
You go first.
MTV era kid, I will say. and a guy that was on MTV for a show. Let's see, its IMDb is a 6.8 out of 10. There were 51,767 votes, so it got a 6.8 out of 10, which is not too bad. I would think it would be less for this movie, but
Yeah.
that's not bad. I personally,
You want me to do Rotten Tomatoes real quick?
yeah, go for it. Get in there.
All right. So the tomato meter is, as far as critics, is 72% out of 53 reviews. Audience score is going to be 69% out of 200. Yeah, right. They really 250,000 reviews. The critics' consensus: Beavis and Butthead Do America is unabashedly offensive, unapologetically stupid, and unexpectedly funny. Yeah, I can agree with that.
I don't think it's offensive though. To who? Who's it offending?
People like Tom Anderson. All right.
Tom Anderson, Mr. King of the Hill himself. Hey, you know what, boys? That's what do you call it? But Mike Judge says everywhere in Texas, a guy sounds like you have a neighbor that sounds like this, and he's right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, out of our patented 1 out of 13, I kind of try to put a score in my head before I watch the movie nowadays, and then kind of go with it. But I'll say that out of a 13, this one is a hard 10. Straight up, solid, boom. Not nostalgia factor gives you like an 11, but if I had to recommend this movie, it'd be like you got to know Beavis and Butthead. And if you don't, just kind of watch it. It's kind of silly.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 9.
All right.
I feel the same way as you do. It's a little bit less for me. I don't really have the nostalgia factor on that. I do with the whole Beavis and Butthead characters, but not so much with the movie. And even that, I mean, with the characters just like passing here and there. This is no like South Park or Simpsons for me, as far as that goes. But it is a very interesting movie. And I am kind of curious as far as like animation goes, why always an election year, and why always kind of the political leaning. And even Bill Clinton, like you said, made an appearance in this movie.
So it's Chelsea.
So, yeah, and Chelsea. Hey, baby.
You want to see my unit?
But yeah, that's where I'm standing with this. It's a solid movie. Would I recommend it to everybody? Probably not. Would I recommend it to stoner friends and teenagers? Yes. Yes, of course. Like your 18-year-old brother, definitely give this to him, for sure. You know?
So that's another thing, right? About Idiocracy. We're talking about family. Like I even have a brother. He's not. He just turned 19, so it's like I have a 19-year-old brother, and you could, and then with my sisters.
You could have a kid in the next 2 years.
Yeah, I took a photo with my dad, me, my brother, and my son, and I put. I haven't posted it, but it was like it didn't come out the way I wanted, so I want to redo it. But it's basically saying like my son is the baby. That my brother's his dad. I'm the grandpa, and then my dad's the great grandpa. Like it's just, but it's not like that, you know. But there's a shift there. But it looks like that on the photo. It looks like that, but there's a shift there. I think also too I'm smiling too much. I think it would look more funny if I'm more miserable in the photo. So that's why I kind of was like, it looks too real. I was trying to make a joke about it, but yeah.
No, you're happy because you're the grandpa. You just get to spoil.
Oh yeah, I'm the grandpa at this point. Yeah. But a young grandpa. But where I'm from, it's it's the thing. One time I said I met real quick. One time on the border, I said there was a kid. I was walking to my parents live on the same street, so I was walking and there's a house in between, and there was a kid selling some stuff, and he wanted money, and I was like, yeah, let me see what you got. I like young hustlers, and then I thought it was the dad came out, and he kept asking, Grandpa, what is this? Grandpa, what is that? He kept turning around, and I was like, that guy, Grandpa. And we started talking. He was like 42 years old.
Damn.
And I was like, the dude looks like he's like 25. Like, like he's a grandpa already. And then I was telling my friends that live there, they're like, which guy? Who is he? He's 42. He's a grandpa and he looks good. Give me his number. I was like, I thought that was funny. But that's where I'm from. But we're moving on to Idiocracy. Is 2006, it got a 6.6 out of 10 with 147 and 54 votes.
54-1. What? Make sure you get that 1 in there.
I said 41,
a difference.
But I said 54. I said I paused. It's 541. I said 54-1. I just said I'm from the border. I proved that I'm from the border.
I'm CJ, and I know numbers.
Dur, 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 dur.
So I'm really glad you did that on Idiocracy. I mean, it really kind of
I said it. I just said that.
it hits the nail on the hammer. And so the Rotten Tomato scores for Idiocracy is going to be a certified fresh Rotten Tomato, but just 2 more points than Beavis and Butthead. So Beavis and Butthead was close to being certified fresh, at 74% tomato meter with 50 reviews, and then a 60% audience score with 50,000 reviews. So it sounds like a lot of the people that watched it were possibly offended by it because it revealed their intellect. We're going to read the critics' consensus on this. It's going to be frustratingly uneven yet enjoyable overall. Idiocracy skewers society's de-evolution with the amiably goofy yet deceptively barbed wit. Dude, the guy who wrote this, or whoever wrote this, was trying to sound so smart after he watched this stupid ass movie.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
So
I'm not an idiot. Look, I can write like this.
Amiably goofy yet deceptively barbed wit.
Goof.
Get the hell on, man. Just say movie good. No.
You're right. He's trying to
prove,
prove a point.
Just trying to overdo it. The audience score is a little lower than I thought it would be. It also has less ratings at 50,000, which the other one had 250,000.
That's true.
So, and 69% for Beavis and Butthead is spot the fuck on.
Yeah. I don't even. I think audience score should have been higher, but for Beavis and Butthead, but 69 is right on. I think for sure this should be higher, but I think it wasn't promoted well. I mean, to have a 70, I mean, this is like a C- to get a fresh. It's like, oh, but a 60 is pretty low. I think you're right. A lot of people got offended by this.
And honestly, I mean, it's a pretty digestible movie at an hour and 24 minutes. But it's not very long.
It also gets me to get it gets me thinking about
the same thing.
I know we're both back to back. We're communicating the same language.
Yeah.
The guys that went were probably like a group of 7 to 11 frat guys that they didn't get it. And I think at the time when this movie came out, I think there's a shift in like thinking. And I mean, I saw it by myself. I freaking loved it.
Well, and they really, like I said, I think the whole Fox News, kind of thing, that really kind of shows you where it wasn't like CNN.
Yeah.
As in 2006, they had a little bit more credibility. But yeah, dude, it's just, I'll just leave that there. What do you got? What do you got for Idiocracy?
Man, I got to be honest, dude. And maybe just because I'm a Austin guy, Mike Judd. I first off was like an 11, but just like getting that 60 audience score. I do this. If we're gonna play that game, I feel like they bashed it on purpose.
Play it. Say it.
I was 11, but I'm doing a 12, man. Like
I'm doing a 13.
Yeah.
This is a must see movie because 13. Honestly, this movie, if people don't stop being stupid, this is what we're going to end up like. That's why this is a 13. This is a movie that you need to watch. It's funny. You'll laugh, but it'll also make you think.
Yeah. I mean, it's also just, yeah, you're right. No, this is a 13. Yeah. I was thinking 11. I said a 12, but you've got me to, it's a perfect movie.
It only helps that this is a Mike Judge film.
Yeah.
It really does. But 13, man, like this, I recommend this movie to everybody.
Yeah.
I really do. Like because even if you
don't have to watch
it caters to everybody. Even if you're really smart, you'll enjoy this movie because like, oh, look at all those stupid people. And if you're really stupid, you'll be like, oh, this is a funny movie. Like it's.
I mean, if you get offended, like I said, yeah, if you get offended, then it's on you. Just looking at the movie poster, it just shows the evolution of it shows the
was that Da Vinci's Man and
yeah.
You're looking at the
Link, the one with not Da Vinci's Man, not the one.
Oh,
with
okay.
The one with the other one they have on Rotten Tomato where it's one of those things where his hands up like that. I mean,
is that a brain? In the middle of a shirt?
No brain, and it shows like the monkey go upright and go back down.
Yeah.
Like if I saw that on the so it makes you do it. But I've watched this one with the Da Vinci on it. That's hilarious. Like I would be like, okay, I get it. He's got a PlayStation.
I don't want to sound too stupid.
I think he's got a PlayStation remote in one hand. He's got a remote controller, a bottle, and a can. Like he's got a beer. He's got a beer and a bottle. Like we can easily do that right now. Like that's still going around. Like 15 years later. and that's, but even though being prior to that, this was going on 15 years prior to, before 2006. So, you know, we have had some I guess growth, but I mean, I said, flying cars are not going to be in my time frame. No. I mean, I'm saying like it from like, I mean, I'm saying like maybe another 100 years, maybe.
There's too many stupid people to have flying cars, and I think that will never change, unfortunately.
But I also defend the stupid people because I think there's a lot of people that think they're smart that are actually stupid. That's what I'm good. That's included. That's what I'm talking about. That lawyer, you included. That's what I'm talking about. That lawyer. I think he's actually he kind of comes. He's more of the show than the actual. You know what I mean? So it's like playing that mirror thing. But hey, we'll see. We'll find out who's on top, because if scientists keep licking and putting, you know, killing themselves in these movies, I'm still gonna believe it that science is not playing. Where are we going? Right.
So I was gonna throw out an actor your way that recently had a movie come out on Netflix. Idris Elba. I think that's how you say it. You know who I'm talking about?
Yes. I got a little man crush on him.
Yeah. So he had a movie that just came out this week. It was called Concrete Cowboy. And I was very interested in watching that. And, you know, he also has another Netflix movie that I have not seen, but have heard really good things about. I think it's like Beast of the Wild or something like that. Beast of the Wild Nation. It's like a African-based film where they have like kids come in and they teach them how to defend themselves. I have no clue what it's about, but it looked good. Beast of No Nation. That's what it was.
Well,
but I just wanted to throw that your way, see what you think.
I mean, literally, like I always see him as a character actor, but I know he's done. I know
in my mind, he's Charles Minor off The Office. So that's all he and
yeah.
Heimdall.
So I'm saying, so if you have two movies here that I can see, and I feel like you came in loaded, so do it. Blast. What you got? Do you want to watch? Which ones do you want to watch?
Beast of No Nations and Concrete Cowboy. I want to watch those two. I want to watch these Netflix movies. I feel like sometimes Netflix movies get under the radar, and sometimes they're really good.
Beast of No Nation.
Oh, have you watched Moon yet?
No, it's right here. I still haven't watched it yet.
It's fine. I just want to know what you think.
I'm sorry. It was called Beast of No Nation.
Something like that.
Beast of sorry. It's Beasts plural. You're right. So here we go. So we have it's from 2015. It's not rated. It's on Netflix. And then Concrete Cowboys. What do you call it?
Yeah, it just came out.
And you know, I gotta tell you something. I'm kind of a bit of a, since you've actually saw me, I'm a bit of a pulse hole digger. And you and I do concrete, so this is right up our alley. And we're a bunch of cowboys. Sent to live with his estranged father for the summer, a rebellious team finds kinship in a tight-knit Philadelphia community of black cowboys. Whoa,
that kind of sounds cool.
Let's see what this is about. All right, it's I'll be honest with you, I've seen a lot of Idris Elba's like movies that he's done. I've always thought he does a great job. He's a professional class act. I would totally love to watch this, because this is also, like I said, we just basically did two movies, one from '96 and one from 2006. So let's update ourselves a little bit and see what the new stuff's up. But yeah, dude. So that's that one. And then a drama based on an experience of Agu, a child soldier fighting in the civil war of an unnamed African country. Oh man, you're gonna break me with this, but let's do it.
I always enjoy these kind of films. So
no, they exist, dude. They exist. Like if I wasn't open to this idea of these kind of movies, then I would have never seen It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
And I think that's, I gotta say, it's not my favorite movie up there, but I gotta say it's one of those movies that when I saw that, I realized that there's a character that I can relate to if I ever become a father. And there's
this Christmas we'll have to do side by side, because I've still not seen It's a Wonderful Life.
Sorry, not It's a Wonderful Life. It's the one with this Italian movie. Life is Good. Life is Beautiful. I'm sorry. I'm already not It's a Wonderful Life. It's Life is Beautiful. That's the one. That movie. It's when an open-minded Jewish librarian and his son become victims of the Holocaust, he uses a perfect mixture of will, humor, and imagination to protect his son from the dangers around their camp. Like,
oh wow,
dude, this is a great movie. We'll eventually get to it, but it's from 1997. But if I wasn't open to like, you know, seeing Private Ryan and all those other movies, like I wouldn't have been open to watching this, because the movie has that feel in the beginning. But as you start watching it, it starts opening up to you, and you're like, oh, but yeah, let's do it, man. I'm down. So
let's do it.
We just finished up some Mike Judd. We got our own Austin Mike Judd, and we did a Beavis and Butthead Do America and Idiocracy. It was 1996, 2006, respectively. Now we're moving on to Beast of No Nation, starring Idris Elba, and it is from 2015. He's the main guy, or is he another cameo guy?
Yeah, I think he is. I believe he's pretty much. He was on the poster. Well, not on the poster, but he was definitely a seller of the movie.
Oh yeah, I see it here. Cool. And then we got Concrete Cowboy, 2020. So this is gonna be great, man. I like the poster of this one too. Mm-hmm. So well, it's nice hanging out with you, and thank you for everyone for listening. We are coming to the end of the episode. Music has been playing for a second, and we're gonna dance our way out of this one.
Y'all have a beautiful day, and we'll see you next time.
See you later. All right. Peace.